You're listening to littlepodcast.com. That's right, they call it the Chinese Communist Party virus on this website.
Okay.
Best judge of all.
Gary Busey is a judge.
Trump's voter fraud war room became a fart-infused room from hell. See it for yourself, if you're willing to see something very vile and Minion related. And they just play World of Warcraft now, because that's the only game.
That's the only game.
Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 415. I'm your host, John Danger, as always, joined by my co-hosts.
Matt, Snapchat filter hag.
TJ Guacamole.
That's
What?
fucking...
Did
That's
we start
racist.
the podcast already?
Yeah.
And then Spanky.
Yeah.
So
And
how's
Spanky.
how is everybody doing in Joe Biden's America?
I'm
It's terrible. I'm having a terrible time.
Yeah.
Communism is taking over.
Oh no, not that.
And we're all communists now.
Yeah, it is
So,
true. Joe
it's-
Biden did force us all to get gay married and become communists.
Mhm.
So
Yep. Even if you wanted to get gay married, he forced you to get gay
Yeah.
married. And that's it. We can't do the podcast anymore, but
Yeah.
because
we're
we
just
are
constantly living in a world of communism and pregnant Sonic the Hedgehog gifts.
Yep.
And
Oh, we're
That's-
getting back into that.
that's the future
No.
that liberals wanted.
Shrek.
yeah.
Thanks,
no,
America.
Shrek and SpongeBob have a pregnancy, and Shadow the Hedgehog is their first child.
Is
Really?
that canon?
Canon.
It's Nicholas Cannon.
You know what?
'Cause
You
I
guys
don't
are
know
all
how
Catholic.
hedgehog anatomy works, really. So
You guys are all Catholics.
Didn't you-
I learned
didn't
that
you,
Catholics
part own a
have
hedgehog
a
for a while, man.
canon.
yeah, it was.
You don't even know how
I
to-
just pretended I didn't for like funny jokes, you know.
The only thing I remember about that hedgehog is about hedgehogs is that they basically always want to die. Like they're really hard to not die.
That's
So here's
lemmings.
the thing:
They're not
That-
very healthy.
the hedgehogs that you get as a pet, they're from Africa. They're not supposed to live like anywhere outside of that.
I bless the rains down in African
they're-
hedgehog.
They're African pygmy hedgehogs, so they're like they live in a desert, and if you take them out of the desert, they want to
Yeah.
die.
Yeah. Well, it's like they have this thing where they hibernate if they get too cold, but they also since they're from Africa, they never get that cold.
Yeah,
So like their hibernation genes just kill them.
yeah. So they have like this
That doesn't-
vestigial hibernation
Yeah.
behavior, but they don't have the part where you like stock up on body fat and nutrients to survive it. So
Yeah.
like.
They just die.
As far as I know, if you have a pet hedgehog that actually goes into hibernation, it's fucked. Like, there's not a way to bring it out.
It just fucking dies. Like, oh, dude, fucking animals! I tell you. And speaking
Yeah.
of hibernation, it's that season again. Fat squirrel season is upon us.
Fat bear
They're all the
season.
fuck over. Do you have a lot of fat squirrels in your yard, Spanky, or are they all too scared of Mike?
Mike is fat, so he can't catch the squirrels.
okay.
So they're not scared of him at all.
Oh, that's good.
Mike has caught a chipmunk,
Okay.
a budgie, and a mouse.
So
All of which he's promptly brought back into the house, and I've had to tear it away from his mouth and throw it over the fence. And he's been very upset at me for doing so.
Mhm. So you
He's
can
like, I
tell,
brought
like
this
how
as a
good
gift for
different
you.
animals are at staying alive by whether or not Mike has caught them.
Yes.
And Budgie's fucking bad at it.
Budgies are not great at surviving Mike. No.
Uh-huh. I like the term budgie. I don't know where it comes from, but it's like fun.
It sounds Australian to me.
It does. I put
I'm gonna
budgie
go
on the
ahead
barbie.
I feel like I should just go ahead and clarify.
Yeah.
The birds I'm calling budgies
Mm-hmm.
are
They're actually bald eagles.
110% not budgies.
You're killing bald eagles.
Yeah.
No, A budgie is like a fucking parakeet. I don't know what Mike's killing. He's killed birds. They're little. I don't fucking know what they're called.
Finches.
That's like really unfortunate for the birds.
Yeah. It's a real problem in
Yeah.
for bird populations, and I think you should really feel bad about that.
I think you should kill Mike.
Yeah.
Put him on trial for
Right now,
killing that
live
bird.
on stream.
Please.
I don't think that's
Oh.
against Twitch TOS.
I don't think so. Only showing nipples,
Yeah.
female presenting nipples is against
No,
the rules.
any nipples.
Really? You can't even show male nipples?
Yeah. So I think this all happened at the same time that Tumblr cracked down on nudity, and Twitch was just like, we don't really want to get into the whole gender thing, so our rule is just no nipples.
I see.
Yeah.
What about dog nipples?
Dipples, yes.
What about
I think
when
you can
dogs get
show up
pregnant
to
and they get
3
those
dog
really
nipples at a
long
time.
nipples? Isn't that always weird when dogs are pregnant and they get those really long nipples that drag on the ground?
What if my nipple is behind a Snapchat filter? Can Twitch tell?
The thing is,
I can't even see
you
that.
gotta keep the bitch calm.
I can.
Keep the bitch
Keep
happy.
calm
And
the
keep the
bitch
bitch
down.
healthy.
If you got a fat bitch, that's a great video, by the way.
God, I love
It's called Special Delivery.
Oh,
It's on
yeah,
the
that's
Found
right.
Footage Festival
Yeah, it's one
Yes.
of my favorite found
YouTube.
footage movies.
There's a
Clips.
video about having a dog who's going to give birth, and you're like a breeder, and they use the term bitch in the correct
Yeah.
way, but they're just hearing a doctor saying, like, hold the bitch. Like, make
Yeah.
sure the bitch doesn't get too crazy.
And
It's
it's,
like all
just,
these.
it's just like, man, that kind of means something else now. Maybe we should like go back and revise like what the correct term is for that. Call it like the dog wife.
The pregnant dog.
Yeah.
Calm
Or you could
your
just say your dog because it's the one dog that's pregnant.
Mm.
Anyway,
But I feel like if you have a pregnant dog, you probably have a lot of dogs.
yeah. Yes.
Dogs be having dogs. Dogs be having
Dog-
dogs.
Dogs be shopping.
Yeah.
Bitches be shopping. You know what I mean?
White labs drive like this. And
Black
so on.
Black labs drive like this.
Remember 80s comedy and how fucking awful it was?
It was pretty awful. But sometimes it could be funny.
Yeah.
I was born in 1993.
I was born in the 80s.
I was born in 1906.
I'm fucking old.
Hey, did you... Hey, TJ, you excited to get yourself some bonus XP in Assassin's Creed with an exclusive code on especially marked corn nuts packages?
Corn
I
nuts.
don't know. The last Assassin's Creed, I
Get your
actually put in.
gamer fuel corn nuts.
Is that for Assassin's Creed 2? I don't think there's an XP
Assassin's
system in
Creed
it.
Valhalla. Corn nuts. Just like the Vikings ate.
Yeah. Fucking Vikings stealing my corn nuts.
Yeah.
God damn it.
God.
Yeah, come on, man.
I can't think of a funnier product to decide that this is a gamer food than corn nuts.
Grape nuts.
Grape nuts are cereal.
Get
I love
your
grape
gamer
nuts.
crackling oat bran.
I like grape nuts. No one else seems to.
Grape? There's no nuts in a grape. It's the problem. It's
It's-
like, what am I eating?
It's wheat berries.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I ain't never seen no berries on a wheat stalk.
If you're gonna do wheat berries, they have to be puffed, and they gotta put honey on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's my. You give me those honey smacks.
Gotta have my pops.
Corn pops.
I love corn pops.
Oh, wait, Corn Pop.
Pops.
I thought Corn Pop was defeated by Joseph R. Biden.
He was. Corn Pop was defeated by Joseph R. Biden Esquire.
Robin X.
Do you guys know?
Secret communist Joe Biden.
You gotta say the Hussein part. It's very
Oh, right.
important.
No, Joseph Hussein R. Hunter S. Thompson Biden. You gotta say the full name. A lot of people forget the middle parts. They don't like to say the middle parts.
Yeah,
But we
But
bring you
it's his
truth
name.
here.
that's who he is.
Joseph
Guys,
Hussein.
Guys, I want to talk to you about the Epic Times.
Hunter
Remember when I
Thompson
got a copy of the Epic
Wait
Times?
a minute. Is S. Thompson from Bill and Ted?
No, it started as just Hunter, and then I can't say Hunter without saying Hunter S. Thompson.
I know that
the guy that Johnny Depp was in that one movie.
What was Bill's last name in
Bill S.
Bill and
Preston
Ted
Esquire?
Preston. That's right.
Yeah.
So,
Bill S. Preston and Theodore Logan.
Oh, man.
Ted Theodore
Speaking,
Logan.
Have you seen the new Bill and Ted? It was very good. I highly recommend it.
I've wanted to, but I haven't yet.
It's quite good.
isn't it hard to see because it's in theaters and I don't want to get
No, it's on
coronavirus?
Amazon.
Amazonia.
It got bought by Amazon.
Oh, that's good.
It's on both.
Just like
They
the
do a
Borat
theater
movie,
thing just to
too.
like get awards consideration or something.
Correct.
Okay, so I just want to say this. So I went on the website, the Epic Times. If you remember this, it's EPOCH Times, and it's the super conservative.
Yeah,
Epoch.
It's not even just conservative. It's like
Super
evangelical end of days stuff, right?
So, to explain where the Epic Times came from, in the 1980s, the Reagan administration had decided that they wanted to sow anti-communist sentiment in the Chinese mainland.
Chinese
So, yes, okay.
Well, it goes
So
back. It goes
basically-
back
so-
before that. Kennedy
I-
was super anti-communist. which I
Correct,
learned
but what I'm
recently.
saying is when the Epic Times started, there was a religious group in mainland China that was anti-communist. They received a lot of funding from the Reagan administration and other like conservative groups and shit that were trying to, and honestly, like every group in America, like American interference groups, basically, to like try and stabilize China by like promoting anti-communist sentiment within mainland China.
Did that work?
And it didn't work, but it did give some fringe groups a lot of money to create a fucking newspaper, which is why we have the Epic Times now. A right-wing religious Christian anti-communist group in China originally created the Epic Times, and now we have it today. Go ahead,
Okay.
John.
So why did they name it? Why did they name it after the time machine in Chrono Trigger? Then
I have no fucking idea.
well, it's like
it
Epoch.
predates Chrono Trigger.
Is it Epoch?
it
Yes.
is.
Okay, so that's just like it's the like section of time that I think is bigger than in age. Is that
In-
right?
and it's
Like
smaller
the
than an
Pleistocene
era.
epoch.
Yes, and it's smaller than an era.
So we've got this.
So
we've
I think
got,
what we got here is a common ancestor of both those things, and not that the time machine became the other thing.
I just want to say
I'm
that
Bill
the
Nye, and this is my science.
headline, the headline of the Epic Times right now is "Election Outcome Unclear Amid Pending Recounts and Legal Challenges."
Okay. Now, what is it in all of the news outlets I've actually heard of?
It has been called for Joseph Robinette Hussein Biden and
Hunter S. Thompson.
Hunter S. Thompson. Sorry, I forgot the middle part. I got to say it's important.
Yeah.
But they currently have Trump with 232 electoral votes and Biden with 227, with the rest undecided yet. Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia.
Now,
Nevada.
if I know the American right wing, they're not fans of Chinese media. So
true.
they're probably looking at that and saying, "I don't believe what you're saying." Is that true?
I will say that because it got so much funding from American dollars in the 80s, a lot of the board members and now editorial staff are just old white dudes. It's no longer very anti-communist China. It's just random, like it's got its roots in that weird like evangelical cult in China, but now it's just mostly old white dudes again.
Yeah.
So I would like.
No,
Go ahead.
You go.
Okay, so I would like to say that we've got a couple articles here, latest election updates. First article here is Illinois voter says election isn't over anyway. Hopes to see it go to Congress. So
Okay, so it's
their
just some
headline
random
is
dude.
that a random person on the street they talked to just said a bunch of stuff, and that's our article. We have Wisconsin voter says path to unity requires truth with the byline NTD television. So it's not actually a real article. It's just quotes from a random dude on the street at a path or defend your vote rally today in Milwaukee. And that's most of their. There's most of these people here. Illinois voter says censorship won't stop rallies or Trump support, and it's just Mackenzie Graham, who's in
TJ,
Springfield, Illinois.
Do you think you are related by marriage to that Illinois voter that was quoted in that article?
Maybe.
Okay.
I mean, I doubt it. They don't leave the house. Well, at least one of them doesn't. The one who's most likely to
march in DC to show support for Trump / demand election integrity.
Oh.
Did you know that the election fallout reveals battle between freedom and communism?
Well, let me tell you something.
I don't think those are mutually exclusive. Capitalism and communism, maybe. Or capitalism and socialism. I get confused on the definitions. They're like genres. I don't know what kind of music I like, but I know when I like it.
Mm-hmm. Trump explains why New York may not get CCP virus vaccine first. And that's right. They call it the Chinese Communist Party virus on this website.
Okay.
I want to say that they probably call it the vaccine, the CCP virus vaccine.
Yeah, because there are Chinese vaccines.
Sinovac is owned by the CCP.
This is not that vaccine. This is the German and U.S. Pfizer vaccine they're talking about.
Okay, so it's the Pfizer-BioNTech.
Yes, correct. So it is not the Chinese vaccine. It is literally just called the CCP virus.
Oh,
the thing
good.
I noted that was funny about this is that there is like the section that's just insane right-wing shit. And then there's like the writers that are like, life and tradition. Here's how to train your dog to do this. Like it's all this really basic, like nice, like articles and stuff. But then the headlines are all just like nightmare. Like it's just good. Like it's just so good.
Every media outlet needs fluff pieces. Hey, look at this water skiing squirrel. And now that squirrel died because communism.
Oh, Daphne Barak on the consequences of being a Trump supporter in Hollywood. A person who I've never heard of before.
Yeah, I guess the consequences that I've never heard of you.
Oh, here we go. Barrick interviewed many Hollywood conservatives, including Christy Swanson, Kid Rock, and Kevin Sorbo for a new film, Trump vs. Ed.
Oh, that's right, Kevin Sorbo.
That could not have been a more perfect list of 3 names.
Kevin Sorbo, who she interviewed for the film, said that because of his support for Trump, his agency dropped him, quote, like a hot potato, and he was told nobody would give him a job. Definitely not because of his terrible acting, but only because...
Not because he's been in nothing since, like, that Andromeda TV series.
Correct. It's the Virgin Kevin Sorbo versus the Chad Lucy Lawless.
Yes.
Who's very good.
Is there somewhere? Yes. Is there somewhere I can watch the like Xena and Hercules TV shows?
I don't know.
That shit was great. And then the crossover episodes.
Yes. She had a really good. Yeah. Here's the Chad Lucy Lawless. There's her Twitter cover is her on a boat of people protesting Arctic oil drilling. And she's in the boat and everything. She says, demand clean energy, Black Lives Matter, LGBTI, protect all. Like, she is definitely the Chad here when it comes to being awesome. Anyway, and whereas Kevin Sorbo is a piece of shit, and he sucks. And he's not a very good actor, and he looks like a piece of toast. But anyway, the Epic Times is hilarious. But I wanted to bring this up, and I laughed when I saw this. You can see it in the Politics Me Off. But to read their articles, you have to sign up for their newsletter. So I put the email address, suckmypenis@gmail.com. Uh-huh. And then when I tried to read the thing, it said you need to like sign in or whatever. Yeah. And so I just exited out of it. I have come back, and now it has me as my account is Suck My Penis. And it says, welcome, Suck My Penis on the top. So I'm glad that they have that set up. Anyway, I just think it's funny that they have not called states like Wisconsin and Michigan, who have both, I believe, certified their results at this point, even. But that's funny. And also, like, the Wisconsin one doesn't even have the lawsuits are insane. We got Wisconsin voters file lawsuit to exclude over 720,000 votes.
Yeah.
792,000 votes.
The thing is, this like crazy people do this shit every election. It's just usually you don't have the president legitimizing them and making it newsworthy.
I mean, Jill Stein in 2016 filed a bunch of lawsuits for recounts because she was desperate to get the Green Party to 1% nationwide because that gets 50 states ballot access for the next election.
Sorry. Oh, we got complete validation of what I've thought. We have the suit asserted, citing past court rulings, that there is a fraud risk inherent in mail-in ballots, and voter fraud occurs more with mail ballots than in-person ballots. Points out Wisconsin's greatly expanded the scope of mail-in ballots in 2020 amid the CCP, also known as the Chinese Communist Party virus pandemic.
Oh my God,
oh, man. I feel like there's somebody on their staff that's like, no, we're not calling it the China virus. We're being correct. We're being politically correct and specific by calling it the CCP virus.
And definitely,
we're not going to blame Chinese nationals. We're going to blame the Chinese government.
Yeah.
So I also really appreciate that they put plaintiffs also took issues with the 238% increase from 720,000 last year to 243,000 absentee ballots. You know, last year, 2019, a lot of ballots went out for that election versus the 2020 presidential election.
Oh yeah, that didn't even occur to me.
Yeah, so it's funny that like these lawsuits are completely frivolous, done just because there's probably a lawyer or they have a lawyer who can, get the documents together, pro bono,
or you get enough money to do a down payment and a lawyer that really likes easy money.
Oh yeah,
my favorite lawsuit of this whole thing was a lawsuit filed in Pennsylvania. It was about
I believe it's pronounced Pepe Silva.
Yes, Pepe Silva. And it was the lawsuit was about the official ballot watchers, and it got to prejudgment to the judge, and the judge just said to the lawyers, like, so does the Republican Party have representatives watching the count?
There is a non-zero number of Republicans in there.
There's no non-zero number of people watching the count. And he's like, well, let me say this one more time. Are there any people representing the Donald Trump for president campaign watching the ballot count right now? Yes. Then what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And then and they threw away the case. It was great.
You guys, I think I want to become a judge.
I do too.
Can I do that without going to law school?
No.
Yes.
Well, actually, you can if you want to become like Judge Judy.
I want to be on the Supreme Court.
Some judges are elected, so you don't necessarily need to get a law degree for that.
The Supreme Court has literally zero prerequisites.
Yeah.
If you're nominated and approved by the Senate, it doesn't matter how old. You could be 3 years old and nominated and approved by the Senate and sit on the Supreme Court for the rest of your life.
I'd like to see
you're just giving rulings like Ike on South Park.
Yeah. And that's totally fine.
The only other judge I'm familiar with is Uncle Phil from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So I think
he
had that cool house. So I think being a judge is great.
Gary Busey, pet judge. Come on. Best judge of all.
Gary Busey is a judge?
I believe it's on Amazon or something.
Pet judge.
Gary Busey, I don't like.
Why not?
Gary Busey seems like, man, he'd probably be fun to hang out with, but you got to be very careful of what topics you bring up.
Yeah.
Spanky, are you eating yogurt?
No comment.
Okay. But anyway, so the Epic Times is hilarious. I just love it's just like, you know how remember when Trump got coronavirus and we're all just kind of like, oh, it feels good, because it feels good to be validated. And now it's like just watching all of these like MAGA chuds get completely fucking butthurt over everything.
Yeah.
It just feels good. Like
Fuck their feelings.
I've been
fuck your feelings. That's what they.
I've been on an all gas no brakes run on YouTube.
Can you explain what that is?
So he's like, if you've seen like Borat, he has a very similar interview style to Ali G, except like without being a British billionaire that's making fun of a small country. But he basically just goes wherever and interviews people and kind of just like puts a mic in front of them and just doesn't talk, and eventually they'll say something stupid. So
okay,
like for instance, he went to before
So
2020.
he's not a bunch of rope unless people hang themselves.
Yes, before 2020, he was going to stuff like Midwest Fur Fest, the furry convention, and stuff like that. But now he goes to like Proud Boys rallies, and he went to Sturgis and stuff. So I was watching the Sturgis one, and there every time he goes to like one of the right wing things like Sturgis Proud Boys or whatever, there's people that are like, "Oh, this virus, yeah, that's not gonna exist on November 6th. You mark my words." I just want to go back to all of them and be like, seriously, like. It's still here. It's still here, guys.
No, I mean, people just have rotted brains. I mean, that's how it is. Like it's just insane. Like, we've got to reach across the aisle and work.
His editing is so great. Like, there was this one woman at a flat Earth conference that was talking about how much she loved Donald Trump. And then I guess he kept talking to her for a while, and she was like, "Oh yeah, so I can't go on roller coasters because I am a survivor of brain bleeds, and I could get a brain bleed at any time." And so he just like edited those two things together, and then it just speaks for itself. Your brain's not good.
Oh no, it ended. What was I want to find that, like, I want to find the article about the fraud call-in center.
Oh yeah.
Here we go. Daily Beast had the article. How Trump's voter fraud war room became a fart-infused room from hell. Quote. So what happened was basically his campaign was basically... Oh, here we go. On Friday, the remnants of Donald Trump's failed re-election campaign informed the staff they were putting an end to the voter fraud hotline duty. It meant the death of a bare, depressing communal office space tucked away in the floor of the Team Trump headquarters in Arlington, Virginia. A workspace that one senior Trump campaign official described as the room from hell. For the past few days, as the president's political lieutenants and attorneys have been hunting for non-existent evidence of massive voter fraud conspiracy that they would argue tilted the 2020 election, they had assigned mid-level and junior staffers to man the in-house phone and email hotline, recently set up to field tips. The, quote, room from hell had some TVs in which they could pass time by watching sports or cable news, but it was lined with phones and swivel desk chairs where aides would field calls at the same time. They said, unlike the boiler room, the day there was filled with a far greater number of death threats and infinitely more farting sounds on the telephone. They said, according to three people familiar with the situation, the hotline was inundated for nearly a week by crank callers impersonating public figures like Hillary Clinton, Rudy Giuliani, anti-Trump callers launching into vulgarity-laden tirades, pranksters making sounds of flatulence, and others issuing threats of physical violence at the lower and mid-level Trump 2020 staffers.
Now, I want to bring up my friend Ewan called this. Ewan is Canadian, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Called this number and reported the Hamburglar for voter fraud.
Yeah.
This is
like the idea of like, hey, in the age of the internet, we're gonna have this open call-in line. Like, did you not hear about Bodie McBoatface? You can't do that shit anymore.
No, so like it's just funny because the staffers were basically told after the election campaign ended, the election happened. They were like, okay, what do we do now? You know, what are we doing? You know, Trump had hired all these people to help him get reelected. You know, built up a staff, and then the election's over. What happens? You know, do we transition into jobs in the part of the staff or whatever? They said no, but we're going to have you run this like fraud hotline now because that's kind of what we need. It's just incredible. Like they said, one staffer told the Daily Beast they had to go to the bathroom at least twice over a few days to cry because of the sheer volume of the abusive phone calls. It's misery. It's one of the worst ways to end a campaign that you could think of, this person said. Some staff had started getting aggressive with the prank callers, giving fake names and arguing or yelling back into the landline. So I absolutely love that this hotline is just like so fitting to end the Trump campaign with like absolute hell that it was and how it began and how awful the rhetoric was, that these people now basically have to sit there and take abuse from people that were waiting 4 years to give people a piece of their mind.
And
he just
I started to feel a little bit bad.
Like, oh
and
my
then
God.
I remembered that they were working on the Trump re-election campaign.
Yes. Anyway, but they were talking about like people giving death threats or sexually graphic language and talking about murdering their family and all these things. Like it was pretty good.
There was definitely one recording I heard of someone calling it and then quoting the C-SPAN call-in of like, yeah, I'd like to report some voter fraud. And one, I'd like to report some voter fraud. And two, I'd like to shit down your throat.
Yeah.
So I just
and in breaking political news, the Million Mega March apparently has fallen just over 900,000 short. So
that's why I said it's genius marketing. You just say it's the Million Guy March, and it doesn't matter how many people show up. You just call it that, and then people are like, well, how many people actually showed up? Oh, it's the Million Guy March. We don't have to give out numbers.
Donald Trump tweeted out a picture of like, look, there's 1 million people here. And if you look at it, it's about a city block packed, which averages out to about 100 to 150,000 people. Yeah. That's not 1 million people.
Yeah,
it's quite a few less.
His inauguration.
Oh my God, yeah. This guy's obsessed with shit like that. Anyway, I just love that Real Lance Man says, I'm glad the election is over so they can start handing out the vaccine. I'm sure none of this is related.
Yeah. You know, all those
big brain, that
Democrat like biohackers that made the you know how like the Democrats made a global plague just to swing our local election? I feel like people in like maybe
my favorite thing
Germany
about
and
real my favorite thing about real_Lance_man on Twitter right now is he's got a tweet that's like, my favorite thing about the election being over is celebrities will shut the fuck up. Then retweets Donald Trump, whose only claim to fame is being a celebrity that got elected president.
Well, like, no, okay. He also bankrupted a casino, so there's that.
I guess you're right.
Girls, you need to stop wearing yoga pants everywhere. If you don't have a yoga mat with you and you have a fat ass, it doesn't look good.
Is that a Lance tweet?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why is he interested in girls' asses?
Because he hates women.
Oh, right.
Anyway, I just love that the tweets are now that the election is over suddenly going back to him just talking about video games and having bad takes on like movies and things.
Yeah, just like
how much
now he can stop talking politics and just go back to being shitty to women and minorities.
Correct.
Keep in mind his video game takes aren't the best either. He's playing the Wii U.
However, he did say that Wind Waker has a good opening. Broken clock's wrong or right twice a day.
You know, Lance, he's said a lot of bad things, but according to Spanky, he's had some good points.
Spanky, unfortunately, he's right a little more often than that.
Yeah, he's very right. He's very, very far
very right.
Hey, Lance, if you're listening to the podcast, I've never met you before, but I hope you fucking die.
Wow. I hope you stop having really bad opinions.
John's
Anyway.
being nicer than I am.
Guys, let's talk about relationships.txt.
Ooh.
Boyfriend's annoying minion fixation turns into nightmare.
Dump him. Divorce. Get rid of him.
I wonder if Lauren wrote this about me.
I saw exactly one Minion movie, and it was John's fault. So
I've 28F known my boyfriend 32M. There's 4 years apart there. So maybe she just changed the years to make it that. For 4 years, and we've dated for 2. Up until this incident, we've only fought a handful of times. That was a pretty solid relationship, but this latest thing has basically turned my world upside down. I don't know what to do. My mom, like many boomer moms throughout America, loves Minions. She's always posting Minion memes on her Facebook. My wife is telling me
I hear Lauren talking.
Yeah.
Does Lauren need to join she's on the Discord service. Does she need to get on the podcast and weigh in?
We would joke about it a lot, but I thought it was kind of weird how much he thought it was funny. Like, he would bring it up a lot and just laugh really hard. Anytime he saw anything Minion related, he'd go on talking about my mom's obsession. Sometimes it was funny, especially in the beginning, but honestly, it got kind of old and annoying. We went to visit my parents a few days ago, and he kept bringing up Minions to her every chance he reasonably got. I thought it was meant to be an inside joke with me, like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge, see what I did there kind of thing. He played it off that way a few times. But I started to get vaguely uncomfortable when he would literally bring up Minions with her, even when I was practically out of earshot. Just a few examples. Pointing at a little farmer figurine, saying, look, he's got Minion overalls. Or seeing a dust cloud in a field, saying they'll need Minion goggles. Hearing the cat make a weird sound, asking if the cat speaks Minion language, etc., etc. My boyfriend is not that socially awkward under normal circumstances. And this is like an Eric Andre bit. Like this is what's going on. Just like being really into Minions. Seriously. And I really wanted my parents to know that, but it was getting difficult to leave a good impression, especially since he was acting so different from the last time he spent time with them. But other than when he was bringing up Minions, he was totally normal and fine. I need to take a drink of my cognac now.
Your Minion brand cognac.
It's called Gruniac.
Gruniac, yes. Actually, it's a first crew to cognac, so we'll just make that a grew. First grew to cognac. When we had dinner, where my judgmental aunt was also present, the wine flowed, and this did him no favors. At some point, when my aunt and dad were loudly gossiping about an old friend, he started an awkward side conversation with my mother. I missed the beginning of it, but I definitely heard him say, have you ever wondered what a Minion felt like to touch?
Okay. So this is a fetish. It's become...
And she said no.
When something is so taboo that you have to make fun of it, it worms its way into your brain, and it plants seeds, and it becomes... those seeds can grow into certain fetishes, and your boyfriend has a Minion fetish. I'm sorry. You're going to have to get some goggles.
And she said, no, I have not. I don't think about them much besides the occasional Facebook post. She was definitely weirded out at that point and clueless to her social cues. Actually said something to the effect of, well, judging by Facebook, you seem to think about them all the time. Don't worry, I do too. My red flags vaguely went up then. I didn't even know why. It felt like he was flirting with my mom, even though that made no sense. It just felt uncomfortable, and the alcohol wasn't helping my emotions, but I didn't show it. I just tried to keep the peace and maintain normalcy. Not long after, my boyfriend made an excuse to go to bed early around 9, which I was kind of relieved for. Didn't mind spending another hour or so with my family without him, so I said goodnight. About 20 minutes later, I went in the bedroom where he was staying to grab my phone charger, and I found him quickly pulling his pants up. But the deed was already done. He desperately was reaching for his shirt on the floor to wipe the semen off his hand, and I walked into the room towards the bed. I kind of started to awkwardly laugh as an immediate reaction, so I thought it was strange for him to leave the dinner to go masturbate. It wasn't something I was necessarily upset about. But when I saw the look on his face as he looked at the phone he had dropped on the bed. At the moment, I did something I wouldn't normally do, because I was buzzed and I felt like something was amiss all day with him. I snatched up the phone and immediately looked. He started to make desperate excuses where my brain even registered when my eyes saw. My first instinct was right to look. What I saw explained why my red flags were going off all day. I'm not going to describe it, but the link is below. See it for yourself. If you're willing to see something very vile and Minion related. The phone was paused on the video right when the nose is in ... the hole.
Oh no. Oh no.
Where I need to see this link. I need to make an asexual objective observation of this content.
You can find the link in this paste bin. I guess I'll have to share it with you via instant message chat.
Put it in the Discord. Put it in the Discord.
It is a Pornhub link.
That's fine. Discord.bornintheeighties.com.
Yeah.
Or
All right,
.net.
I'm opening the Pornhub link now. This will be my first time. Oh my god.
All right, fine. I have to look now too.
It is hilarious. It is, to describe to our listeners, it is the character Gru from Despicable Me inserting his nose into the butthole of a minion who is erect. It's
Have you
very
listened to
classy.
Audio.
Okay.
Haven't listened to the audio. Oh my god, the audio is a fucking nightmare.
Okay.
9 out of 10 would watch again.
Now this does have over 15,000 views and 51% thumbs ups.
It's by Homer _Simpson 37 on Pornhub, listeners, if you want to look it up for yourself.
Based on that video, I think this is a joke post. But it's a lot of details to get into for a joke post. But we need to get to the end here. It wasn't long after that a few things dawned on me. A while prior to this, he bought me a very unique, bright yellow, fuzzy sweater, and it was sitting on a chair by our bed for a while. One night when we were having sex, he asked me if I was cold. He insisted it was cold, and he didn't mind clothes on to keep warm while we had sex. It was weird, of course, but now I think he actually wanted me to wear the yellow sweater so he could fantasize about having sex with a minion.
Maybe he was just a Weezer fan.
I also remember having caught him in a lie a while ago about him saying he took his nephew to see Despicable Me, but then finding out from his sister that they bailed on the plans and the nephew didn't end up going. I thought it was weird that my boyfriend lied about it and evidently went to see it by himself, but I just thought he was embarrassed about going to see it by himself and wasn't going to call him out on it. We left my parents' house on the following evening, and sorry, I had to alt-tab. Fucking thing was loud. All right. We left my parents' house on the following day without making any sort of scene. Luckily, it wasn't a long drive. I told him I needed time to think. I didn't want to talk about it yet. He's been incredibly awkward and quiet. Any advice is appreciated. Dudes into minions. What can I say?
Yeah. This
God's
feels
love
fake.
has limits.
I feel
It does.
like yeah. It just went. It was just too good.
Mm-hmm. The audio is insane, so it's a joke. But anyway, yeah, the picture is not that weird. I don't know. I mean, like it's fake.
It's fake and gay.
Mm-hmm. I've got another one.
Okay.
It's election related.
Is it also Minion related?
Election related. Husband, 30, lost bet over the election. Payoff means he has to eat 10,000 calories a day for a year.
That
29,
sounds like an easy thing to do.
say he can't do this. He says the guy code means he has to keep his word. I'm so disgusted and lost. Edit, just to clear this up, my husband is not, nor was he ever, a Trump supporter. He and his advisor did analysis on the Pennsylvania voting, and they predicted Trump would win and thus win the election. Obviously, they were wrong. He was hanging his bet on his analysis being right, not on being a Trump voter. I'll keep this short as possible. My husband is a stipend PhD candidate in statistics, means he'll make a small salary in addition to paid tuition. He's also so confident in his alternate analysis of the polling data that he bet a friend that the current president would win the election. I had no idea this bet was happening. We went out to dinner to Saturday to celebrate the election, and my husband ate so much that he actually made himself sick. That night, he just said he was super happy. But then on Sunday, he got DoorDash 3 times, and I forced him to tell him what was going on. He tried to play it off like, oh, babe, you'll get such a kick out of this. Haha, lost a bet because of the election. Haha, I have to eat 10,000 calories a day. Guy code, love ya. I was shocked and stunned, to say the least. My initial reaction was that since I'm the main, quote, breadwinner, we're still saving for a house. We can't spend $80 a day on DoorDash for one person. He said he was okay with that. And I think I was still stunned and left it at that. So Monday and Tuesday, his idea was to get a bunch of frozen Red Baron pizzas and liter bottles of soda so that it would be cheap. It was disgusting. He smelled like he was sweating grease and sugar. He's already so bloated, and I did some calculations on the internet, and he's eating about 7,000 more calories per day than what he needs, which means you could easily weigh over 400 pounds when the year is over. November 10th is the anniversary of the first time we ever had sex, so I usually get new lingerie, and we have a fun night in celebration. That's a weird thing to have memorized, but whatever.
I was going to say that, but I wasn't sure if everybody else did that, and I was the only one that didn't.
No, absolutely not. I could not tell you. I
think the first time I had sex was May 28th, 2006. 2007. So every year on May 28th, I put the anniversary number of AA batteries inside of my butthole. Mm-hmm. So I've just celebrated my 13th sex anniversary, and I put 13 AA batteries inside of my anus.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, AA's, huh? Not going for
when I first started, I've got to be honest. When I first started, my first 2 or 3 years, I used 9-volt batteries because I wanted to have, I wanted it to be an experience. Yeah. But I realized after about the 3rd or 4th year that this was going to become an issue, because of the laws of physics. Mm-hmm. So I switched to AA's, and I made a promise to myself that after year 20, I'd switch to AAA's. After year 30, I'd switch to quadruple A's. And then after that, I would just do the 2032 watch coin batteries.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, and then if you need one, you can just take it out. Cause
I've got a lot of batteries at my house.
Those are incredibly useful, the 2032s.
If you guys ever need to borrow batteries, I have several.
I think I'm
happy to give you batteries.
I think I'm good.
It's a real Albert Fish situation going on.
I think I'm all set on batteries. I think.
What about those giant 6 volts?
See, no, remember
the D-cell batteries?
No. I use 18650 model rechargeable batteries because that's what plugs into my dildo. I recently had Rudy Giuliani go to Fantasy Island in Philadelphia to get me some more.
Area.
Because he was in the area. Yes, exactly.
That's good. Yeah, so I guess I'm trying to think if there's anything more with this one. It is that's kind of it. And now it's just it's ruining their sex life because he is fucking just too full to ever do anything. And he's like, I don't want to welch on my bet. Who's doing that?
So here's the thing. Here's the thing about bets and guy code and all that. You can just lie. You can say,
I remember.
Oh yeah, I totally ate all that stuff that I was supposed to eat for the bet. And
then after like 2 weeks of lying, the other person will just forget it. Like, that's how this guy code shit always goes.
So I said that it was, I believe, that there was a friend of mine, John Hudak. I don't know if you've ever met this guy, but
Hudak.
He was a good friend of mine.
The Dark Hudak.
He lives in Texas. Yeah, we've talked about it on the podcast. We made a bet over. It was Beatles Rock Band, and I believe it was Rock Band 4. Beatles Rock Band and Guitar Hero 5 were coming out at the same time. And I bet that Beatles Rock Band would outsell Guitar Hero 5. And the bet was whoever lost the bet would have to, I think it was like, wear a dress and like a wig and makeup at the next like party or something that we had. I won because obviously fucking people bought Rock Band Beatles and didn't really care as much about Guitar Hero 5. It was closer than I thought, but it was I was like, the Beatles name is going to pull this thing along at this point. Like, people aren't going to buy a new Guitar Hero with new instruments. But it was closer than I thought. And he never did it, even though he lost the bet. And I never really thought anything other than that because it's just a bet. And I just assumed he wasn't going to do it because he would just welch on it. So this guy's got something wrong with him. Or this is a fake post, which is probably equally likely. Spanky, what are you playing on your Switch there?
The Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts, Melody of Memory.
Don't you have to, like, isn't that like an audio game that you have to listen to play?
I'm really drunk. If I had the audio on, I would be doing exactly as terrible. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, John.
Now, TJ and Spanky, maybe you can comment on this, but I've had people say to me that the lore of Kingdom Hearts is very uninteresting and uncomplicated, and I was just wondering if you would maybe want to.
No, they're correct. There's nothing more to say about it. It's pretty straightforward.
I could summarize in 6 words. Sora beats darkness with the power of stupid. Yes, that was 7 words. It's fine.
I can't believe you can count words. I can't even count my fingers right now.
Why did you drink more?
That's why they call you Two-Fingered Pen.
John, what are you asking me?
I'm just saying, like, you were already drunk, but then you're like, let's drink more.
Yeah.
John, I don't understand. You understand that I made that decision while drunk, right?
Yeah.
I suppose.
I made the decision to drink more when I was already drunk. This is why people do this shit.
I suppose.
It's true.
But I got my... I'm part of the next generation now.
So you have a PlayStation 5?
I don't have I don't have the giant router.
Okay, so
I will say the PlayStation 5, seeing that in people's living rooms looks heinous.
It's Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Huge.
It's definitely a specific kind of aesthetic. It's very like modern architecture, but
it is humongous though. I didn't realize how big that thing was.
Got to get that airflow. Come on.
And everyone thought the Xbox Series X was going to be huge. And it's not that big. It is dense, like a motherfucker. That thing is heavy.
It maximizes space like a Scion cube.
Exactly. But it's neat. I installed Game Pass and completely filled up the 1 terabyte hard drive immediately.
Of course. Because
it's not very much space, because next gen games are all like 60 to 100 gigabytes.
Yep.
And that's I think about 8 to 10 games you can put on there. So yeah. So I don't know if I'm going to buy the $250 SSD expansion. That's I think another terabyte. I don't think I'm going to spend half of what I paid for the console on a terabyte upgrade. I think
it still works with USB 3.0 stuff, just not as fast.
It's just not as fast. So what I've read is the USB 3.0 is probably where you want to put your Xbox 360 and Xbox One X games that don't have the Series X upgrades.
Yeah.
Because it won't change the way that they play or load. But if you have a game that's a Series X game or has the enhanced Series S or X built in, it will you'll want that on the SSD, because I'll tell you, I've been playing some Forza 7. God damn, do things load fast. Having an SSD in a console that's been optimized is fucking awesome. Like, boot up to racing a race is probably like 30 seconds.
So in my laptop that I currently use for gaming, I have a NVMe PCI 4 whatever SSD, and when we play Phasmophobia, like I hit start game and it just like boop, levels loaded, no matter which level it's like boop, like 1 second, and then I have to just fucking walk back and forth for like 3.5 minutes while John's fucking spinning 5,400 RPM,
7,200 RPM.
And it's got to print out to his dot matrix printer and shit. And then I gotta wait for John to load.
He's got to load the right punch cards.
But anyway, so I've been enjoying it. I've been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I bought Assassin's Creed Odyssey because it was cheaper than the new one, because it was on sale for like $12.50. So
what's the new one?
Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Oh, okay. The last one I played was the Egypt one, and it was
that's
Origins.
Assassin's Creed Origins, which I also bought as part of that deal for $12.50. So
the last one I played was Black Flag.
I don't like the way you said that.
Yeah.
And the last one I played was African American Flag.
Thank you.
Okay, last one I played was 2.
Wow, that was a while ago.
I mean, honestly,
I have Black Flag.
The last good one.
I have Black Flag. I've played a little bit of it. I have Origins, and I haven't played that at all.
Brotherhood, which is the sequel to 2.
That's the first sequel,
one,
yeah.
No.
Good.
Brotherhood was good, but Revelations was not.
No, Revelations was not. It was the first sequel was good. I played through all of it. Assassin's Creed 2 is one of the few games that I 100% completed. I did everything in that game. I loved that game.
I haven't done Feathers yet.
So it was interesting because Assassin's Creed 1 was very much like it was very much like, whoa, there's these open areas and you could just run around and hide and do whatever. But it wasn't that good of a game. It was cool. But it wasn't a great game. You had fun with it, and then you were done with it. And then Assassin's Creed 2 cranked it to 11 so hard, where it was like the Superman 2 of video games. It's the sequel is so much better than the original.
Well, the main character is fun. Ezio Auditore is just this Italian fucking playboy. You fucking jumping around, crashing parties, and getting these cool inventions from Leonardo da Vinci, and I don't know, that it was just fun. And then the cities were huge, the
Da Vinci
looked great on 360. And I was a huge fan. I played through the entire thing. It's one of the few games I think I've
what's
played
the
through
deal
so
with
much.
the time travel shit and Assassin's Creed games?
There's no time travel.
But it's you're living through somebody else's memories. It's doesn't seem necessary. Just do cool historical shit.
You're correct. But the thing is this whole series started off, the very first Assassin's Creed game knew that it wasn't a 10 out of 10 game, the first one. So they threw in some weird shit. They're all right, so you've got this game, all the trailers just show the game part, but then whenever you play it, after you do a couple levels, it's you wake up in this laboratory and it's modern day, and they keep sending you back, and at the very end of the first game, you see you see a UFO or I forget what it is, but it's basically it seems like you're going insane, and then all of a sudden it's are there aliens? Do aliens exist? And then the game ends. And it ends in a way that doesn't explain anything. So they left it open-ended enough that the second game could go whatever fucking direction they wanted to go. Yeah. But they had already established that the way that you're playing the old game, the history part of the game, was through reliving people's memories. And for Assassin's Creed 1 and 2 and 2's two sequels, which were Revelations or Brotherhood and Revelations, and I think maybe also for Assassin's Creed 3, you were playing as Desmond in the modern era, and then they got tired. They got tired basically of doing modern day stories because they knew people only gave a shit about the actual game part of it. So they just killed Desmond and have paid very little attention to the modern day stuff since then.
Well, so Black Flag, you're like a QA tester for the system or whatever.
Right.
Yep.
At the company that makes.
That's awesome.
You are
dumb and bad.
I mean,
it's awesome because there's secret aliens, and then you find history where they talk about how aliens showed up. And so you see aliens at the end of Assassin's Creed 2, and you're like, whoa! And then
the only one I've played is Origins, and I'm like, I'm cool Egyptian guy. I'm running around doing Egyptian stuff, and then all of a sudden, I was like a lady that came out of a cyber coffin thing, and it was like, hey, you're replaying memories, and then I was all like, but wait, do I have agency in this world, or am I just doing prescribed acts? I had started having existential dread. And then eventually, all things, I was like, I'm just not going to think about it right now.
Okay, this isn't going to be spoiler friendly for a game that's over 10 years old for the next minute and a half. But Matt, you're not going to worry about this. But at the end of Assassin's Creed 2, when we're talking about the aliens, this happens in the past world. But the aliens that are talking to Ezio, the past person, are actually talking directly to Desmond in the present day. I don't like all right, that. Ezio, you're not going to know what this is about, but we're talking to Desmond right now. Who the fuck's Desmond?
And when does Michael Fassbender show up?
He just shows up to get it all canceled. No, the Assassin's Creed game, dude, fucking Odyssey is awesome. It's like they learned from all of the other open world games. You have equipment, and you level up, and you can upgrade your gear. Yeah. And when you get pieces of gear, you see them on your character, and
one of the big things about the Assassin's Creed series is how good the movement feels, right?
There is one thing about Assassin's Creed that I love that the developers do tongue in cheek. So it's all developed by Ubisoft Montreal, and that's of course they speak French there. But the tongue in cheek thing they do is they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna translate all of everything you hear in the machine to whatever language you are. But because French is such a dumbass language, we just can't do it very well. So every time they encounter someone who speaks French, whenever you go back in time, it's mostly just in French. And they don't translate it. Because they're like, it's a fucking weird language and we just can't figure out how to translate it technologically. Mm-hmm. Which I thought was funny because it's from a dev team that largely speaks French.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's mostly French.
As much as everyone gives it shit, I still want to play Syndicate.
I actually think I've heard that was really good. Story. That's where you're in Jack the Ripper times London.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
And you play as twin assassins, a male and a female.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, there is your assassin home base is a fucking steampunk train that you can hop on that's going around the world. It sounds really cool. I was tempted to buy. They had a collection for I think on sale for $70 on Xbox Live if you have the Game Pass or Ultimate or whatever for $70 or $60 and included all the past Assassin's Creed games down to Black Flag, so Syndicate and all those. And I was tempted to get that too, but I was like, you know what? I'll just play the two new ones. They're awesome. I fucking love them. They have a system that was reminiscent of, at least in I don't know if it's the way in Origins, but in Odyssey, they have a system that's similar to the Nemesis system from those Lord of the Rings games.
Yeah. Okay.
Bounty hunter chasing you.
I think it's similar in Origins too.
Okay, so you can see them on the map, and they're like coming after you, and they fucking wreck your shit if you're not like prepared.
I remember that when Origins came out because I had played the Middle Earth games, and I remember them advertising like we brought that system over.
Yeah, and it's fucking awesome because you're just there. I'm just there, like doing this mission where I'm like sneaking around this like, and also you can play as the lady in the new one, Cassandra, and she's awesome so far. And I was told that the female voice actress in that her like is just better than the men's one in this game.
I have heard that about Odyssey.
Yeah, and it's awesome, and she's a great character, and she's like I call her my murder lesbian because she's just like, she's like this Amazonian like badass woman, and she just fucking is. Yeah,
she's
and it's fun to just run around
of Lesbos.
Yeah, basically, but it's just a badass character. And I think it's in Origins as well, but you have like a bird that's like a spy drone that you can use to, like,
in Origins you have like a hawk or something.
Yeah, so in this one you have an eagle that I guess when you were orphaned as a kid, like the eagle showed up, or I don't know, it's some storyline anyway. But they call you like the eagle bearer, like, and everyone's like, you must be blessed by the gods to have like an animal companion or something to help you, and she's just like, I guess. But then you just can use the powers to like use an eagle to see. It's fun though. It's fun just flying around as an eagle.
Mm-hmm.
I also heard they have like an exploration mode built into the game, like where you can just like go around and look at all the like.
Like
artifacts
they did that in Origins too. It was like, hey, if you wanted to like have a like, fun thing for your high school class to do, we have all these historically accurate like Egyptian shit that you can walk around
in, you know. And I was like, that's cool. So I've been really enjoying that. But like doing like a mission where I'm like in a bandit camp, I flew my eagle over to like highlight every guy and like sneaking around killing guys in the camp from the side.
Can you attack with the eagle too? Because I think you could like dive bomb with the Falcon or whatever. And
I haven't gotten to that in Odyssey. Maybe that's something you unlock later, but he's just there to like help you mark targets and scout ahead and find stuff. But I'm like there, like, you know, going through this bandit camp, and all of a sudden I just hear this guy yelling like, I've been looking for you, and he fucking wrecks my shit, and I'm like, what the fuck? I was in the middle of this mission.
What? You're
and you have to, like,
why are you here?
Yeah, it's just kind of cool because he's like kind of, when you have these bounty hunters after you because you've like done actions that get your like, I don't know, like get you in more trouble with like the local like leadership of like the I don't know what to call thugs and gangs that are running shit in the areas. They'll like send dudes out after you that are I think like randomly generated and have like special gear you get off of them when you kill them, but they're usually higher level than you.
That's how it worked in Middle Earth.
Oh yeah, so it's fucking cool. And because
do they have like custom character models and shit?
Yeah. They look different, but
because in Middle Earth it was like, here's the orc who has like a prosthetic hand and an eye patch and a big scar over his face, kind of thing.
I don't think that it's good to single out orcs that are amputees and handicapped.
But it's a cool like claw thing because it's just kind of like they don't fit you for a prosthetic. They just kind of jam some rebar in there and it has spiky things on the end.
That is probably like the best part of those Middle Earth games is that the Nemesis system, just where you can be doing a random mission and this fucking orc shows up just to like be like, haha, I'm gonna fuck your mission up. And you're like, what? No. And then you have to like, I don't know. It's just fun. And you can like, in that game, you can like turn them to your side and then have them like can show up in missions to like assist you. I don't know. There's some just really cool shit in that game. Glad they've like put it in other games, and I'm really looking forward to playing more of Odyssey. I heard Valhalla is pretty good too, where you're like playing a Viking. Although I did read there's some real like ludonarrative dissonance with that, where you're playing as a Viking, but if you kill civilians when you're doing your raiding and pillaging, you'll be desynchronized from like the simulation. And it's like, I think Vikings
isn't that what pillaging is?
That was their whole thing.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, so you're just going into these towns and just killing the guards only. Like, but it shows like the videos where they're shooting flaming arrows and burning down like houses and stuff. I don't know, but I heard that's pretty cool. So I might pick that one up, but I didn't because it's $60 and I just spent $500 on a game console. So I'm not going to buy another game. And I just play World of Warcraft now because that's the only game.
That's the only game.
Mm-hmm.
WoW Classic is the only
WoW
game.
WoW Classic because there's
WoW
nothing.
Classic is the only World of Warcraft game.
Fucking Nax Ramus is coming out, the final raid tier in WoW Classic, and that's one I never played at all when it was originally out. So I'm
a
kind
lot
excited.
of this shit has been stuff I never played.
Well, this is all new to you, and you've been enjoying it. You've been enjoying the meme Shadow.
It is not a meme spec. It is viable.
You are also a support class too, so you bring support to the raid as well. As damage,
I beef up those warlock boys.
You just oil up them warlocks, grease them up, so they can do extra damage.
Yeah.
I think the warlocks were ultimate on high when they had you and that Boomkin in their party.
Oh,
because he also spell damage as well. So it was just like all damage boosted.
They got spoiled.
They did get.
But now I'm prioritizing damage, so I won't stack up my shadow weaving quite as fast, and they'll just have to deal with it.
I see.
Like many whelps.
Many whelps. Yeah, so we've been playing that, and I think there's been a lot of talk, and I think it's basically, I don't think it's been confirmed, but I think it's basically confirmed that they're going to be doing the Burning Crusade after this.
Yeah.
Crusade Classic. And so, I mean, that was kind of what everyone thought, but I think Blizzard sent out like questionnaires and people like saying, "Hey, would you be interested in that?" So,
hey, what would make you continue to subscribe for $15 a month? Okay, we'll do that.
We'll put out the next expansion.
I can't wait until like 14 years from now when there's WoW Classic.
Yeah, WoW Classic, because they got. I wonder how they're going to do it, though. I mean, are they going to keep like servers that are stuck at max level 60? You know,
I don't know.
Because that still exists in the private server community. It's not like every private server is a Burning Crusade or a Lich King server, which is Lich King is considered
when WoW Classic came out, a lot of the private servers went to Burning Crusade because they were like, there's the official thing now, so if we're gonna survive, we have to differentiate ourselves.
It's like, why would you play private server Classic when you can just get the real thing that is not even like
so probably if all servers transition to Burning Crusade, then like classic private servers will pop up again because that's the thing that's not available.
No, I've really appreciated being able to play through Classic kind of hardcore and getting good at it, basically. And I don't know, it's been good. I'm looking forward to Burning Crusade though, because it removes a lot of the annoyances of rating at 60. There's no more world buffs.
The funny thing about Classic is like a lot of the knowledge you have to be good is just like knowing the idiosyncrasies of the game engine and like the jank that it was programmed with.
It's like the game is like solved at this point.
Yeah.
And so you need to know, here are the bugs or the tricky way you can exploit the game code to be maximizing.
There's a
your
lot of like,
efficiency.
here's how the math works behind the scenes and here's how you can exploit that. And that's fun to figure out right now. I can see myself getting bored with that once I have solved it. But
well, you know what? It turns out we just probably have maybe 3 or 4 months left of the game before TBC would come out in the spring. People are saying maybe spring, summer next year, which sounds about right.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So there may not be much more for you to figure out. And then we can worry about Burning Crusade, which lowers raid sizes to 25, which makes things infinitely easier to get filled.
And I can finally be a Blood Elf Paladin.
And then,
like I've always wanted to be.
Adds paladins to the horde, but it also, trying to think what else they do. No more world buffs. There's I think one 10-man raid, which is Karazhan, which is really, really fun. One of my favorite raids in the entire game. And yeah, Matt, remember the World of Warcraft movie?
Yeah.
Medivh's like giant tower that he goes to in Karazhan.
Don't
That's
remember
the raid.
any of that, but I remember there was like 2/3 of the leads from Preacher in it.
You're right. But anyway, we got there's flying mounts, of course, is the new thing as well, and that's it.
Oh, that's a really Burning Crusade?
Yes.
Flying mounts are dumb.
No, it's only in Burning Crusade, so
only in the areas the Burning Crusade. Okay.
The old world doesn't have flying mounts in it, but there's almost no reason.
You know
to be
that's
in the
because the dev at the time were like, "Hey, we designed this for like you can't fly, and if you can fly, it breaks everything."
Yeah,
you'll see all of the shit that like we hid above mountains and stuff.
So, but then when Cataclysm came out after Wrath of the Lich King, they fixed all of the maps in the original world.
Fixed is an interesting word.
Well, they fixed the weird inconsistencies, but they also changed zones and leveling drastically, which a lot of people didn't like, and I think that's why a lot of people
think of... Didn't they flood Thousand Needles?
Yeah, that's why a lot of people think of Wrath of the Lich King as kind of the final, like, real old school expansion. Because it was Cataclysm when they changed the old world up completely.
Yeah. And which one is the expansion where they were just like, hey, just put your credit card in and you'll get infinite free bits and a lot of cool cosmetics? Oh, that's the one. That's it.
The one post Pandaria, yeah.
It was the one that was like Warcraft the movie, the expansion.
Off screen because he's not on camera.
I'm laying on the floor so the room doesn't spin.
Oh, I see. Because, see, I was waiting for you to come back so I could go take a piss. I feel like at least 3/4 of the people have to be here for one of us to leave.
Why don't you go take a piss and TJ thinks up of what episode of Legend of Korra that we were watching.
Okay, well, John, you just need to answer me this question. Did we talk about Avatar 1 yet on the podcast?
Yeah. No, not on the podcast. I'm going to figure this out.
Then it's 5. Then it's 5 through 8 of season 2.
I think that is correct. But let me check. We may have only done 3. I think we did because
no, it was 2. No, we did 1 through 4, and then it was supposed to be 5 through 8. And then we were going to do 9 through 12, and then 13 and 14.
I don't know if that's how we were going to do it.
We were going to do it 4, 4, 4, and 2.
Oh, wait. Okay, we did 4 because that made sense because it ended with the Civil Wars Part 2.
Uh-huh.
And then we did 5, 6, 7, 8 because that ended with the new Avatar. And then I think we were going to do maybe 3, 3 after that. 4, 4, 3, 3. I think that's what we're going to do.
Whatever.
Because I think the harmonic convergence, which is the third to last episode, kind of goes right into the final 2 episodes.
Okay, well, that's fine.
4,
that's
4,
closer to what I originally wanted to do anyway, so.
4, 4, 3, 3.
So
fuck. We need to watch the next 3 episodes. Let me just check this Night of 1,000 Stars episode. Yeah, this kind of ends with a... I don't remember. We're doing 4, 4, 3, 3.
Okay. Fine.
I'm sorry. It was 4, 4, 3,
3.
Yeah, it's 14 episodes, so you can't split it up into fourths.
And then the last 2 seasons are 13 each, so we'll figure that out when we get there.
God damn it.
It was 12, 14, 13, and 13.
Yeah.
They're all half seasons. So, John, you got to hit me up when you play some Forza. I got Forza 7 on the PC now.
Oh, yeah, Forza 7 is my fucking... you're one of my rivals. Your Drivatar.
I've done 2 races, so that's all it's learned from me.
Showing up. My I finished the first Seekers Cup Championship, which is the first set of challenges you get in story mode.
Okay.
So the earliest ones. And I started into the second one.
Anything we can play cross-platform with PC would be great. But otherwise, I also do have the Xbox Console Companion on my PC, which lets me stream stuff from my Xbox, so I don't have to monopolize the TV in the bedroom because that's where the Xbox is here.
You killed a fly?
Yeah.
Wow. Was it
I was
the man that went through a teleporter?
I was playing Kingdom Hearts 1 from the Xbox, streamed to my PC the other day, while my daughter was playing.
Have you found that streaming works okay?
It depends.
I tried to
Sometimes
stream my phone and it was real glitchy.
it depends. Sometimes to my phone works great. Sometimes to my computer works great. Sometimes nothing. Sometimes everything is shit. So
Yeah.
it's hit or miss.
Okay.
But if you're gonna do it on the PC, there is a separate app you have to download besides the Xbox app.
Okay.
Matt, welcome back.
I do have that app.
The Xbox Console Companion.
How could you tell it was me with the censoring?
I just guessed.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were Spanky, but I figured I'd go with Matt. Went with my gut.
Do we know if Spanky's dead?
I think he's alive.
Okay.
So are we ready to talk Korra? Or do we want to wait for another week?
No, I want to watch more, and god damn it, I'm not going to watch it until we talk about this.
Alright. Fuck. Fucking Matt.
I think he's still alive because he is posting directly to me memes of Sonic and the Hedgehog and Tails peeing their diapers. So
Okay.
I heard him laugh.
Adult baby hedgehog diaper lovers.
What I like
it's-
about this podcast is how organized it is.
Spanky, it's meters, tails per second.
Not in this fucking country. God damn it. Not where we live. So what happens in these episodes of Korra?
Cornin.
Corn nuts
Ryan?
on specially marked packages of corn nuts.
There was a couple of filler garbage episodes that I don't remember, and then we learned about the first Avatar.
So there was 2 episodes that weren't the first Avatar episodes, and then the first Avatar episodes.
They need a series just on Avatar 1. He's the best.
Yeah, I absolutely.
One.
Now,
One is the loneliest.
He's definitely like Aladdin, but a wizard.
He's Wizard Aladdin.
yes.
Wizard Aladdin.
He's like Aladdin and the genie all in one. He's like Will Smith and whoever was Aladdin all together.
No, he's original voice of Aladdin. Scott Weinger, who was also the boyfriend on Full House.
Wait, did the Juan is actually voiced by the same
No,
person?
no, he's not.
Oh, okay. Because you were gonna blow my mind if that was true.
That would have been great, but no. Scott Weinger has been the voice of Aladdin in every piece of Aladdin media. Well, Disney Aladdin media.
It's a dark ruse.
I suppose you know that because of Kingdom Hearts.
Yes, he's also the Kingdom Hearts person, as opposed to like everyone else who has fake voice actors.
They couldn't even get the real Robin Williams. What a fucking ripoff.
Couldn't afford it.
Thank you, Spanky,
Spank you, thanky.
for sending me that. It's just wait. Obese.
What's that?
Fuck.
That's this podcast getting off the rails.
Assuming we've been on the rails at all today.
Been on the rails at all?
No, of course not.
All right. let's
we
talk
haven't
about
been on the rails since last week when we did our "Yay, Donald Trump didn't win" celebration.
Oh fuck, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, so I've seen there's a Peacekeepers, and then there's a Sting, and then there's a Beginnings 1 and 2. So hey, Peacekeepers.
Well, there's some important things that happen. So, wait, I feel like we talked about this episode.
Well, if you don't remember us talking about it, nobody knows for sure.
I do remember this because it was. Remember, it ended with Varric running away, and then there was. No, we didn't talk about this. Yes, because there's there is.
Yeah, I think we just talked about Civil War.
Bolin's new career as Nuktuk is in the.
Yes,
he doesn't seem to realize that acting is not life.
You're right. This is definitely where we were because this is Korra, Mako, Bolin, and Asami, and Varric arrive in Republic City, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a lot of fun to be had. Varric is like wheeling and dealing in Republic City.
Yeah.
The United Republic president is like showing up.
Well,
and,
like Korra's got avatar duties, and Mako's got he's got to go be a bastard somewhere, and so the other guy Bolin's feeling left out, and Varric's like, "Hey, have you ever seen Republic City?" And he's like, "Yes." And he says, "Have you ever really seen Republic City?"
Yeah. And he gives him the tour.
Then they go to all the secret brothels that only rich people can go, that are full of like Wayfarer cabinets and shit like that.
Mm-hmm. The other thing that happens too is Desna and Eska, which are the two weird twin water tribes, go to their dad and we're like, "Hey, fucking, they escaped." And then he's like, "All right, you need to capture Korra and bring her back alive," basically. And he needs her to activate the northern portal. So they're like, "All right, we won't kill her then." And so that's going to go on. Meanwhile, the Republic City, the fucking Southern Water Tribe Cultural Center is firebombed by the Agni Kai Triad. Yeah. Everyone's like, "Oh, the fucking Northern Water Tribe is behind this, actually," and they can't figure it out. And Mako's like a police detective trying to like.
It is important to note that the Southern Water Tribe Cultural Center has a very regal statue of Sokka in front of it.
Yes, exactly. And
Sokka,
why would they destroy
Sokka? Whatever. Why try to get it right now?
But anyway, Bolin and Varric show up at the pro bending arena in like a limo, and Bolin's just living the high life. Anyway, they go to see the president the next day, and they're like, the fucking Northern Water Tribe's behind this, and they're like, "We gotta have the police figure it out." And Mako's like, we gotta go investigate, and the other cops are like, "We're the real cops, and you're just a rookie." So
on account of their mustaches.
That fucking storyline sucks so bad because it's such a fucking parody of every cop show ever, where it's like detectives like trying to do that, and it's annoying.
Look, every department needs a Scully and Hitchcock.
Exactly. That's from that pro cop propaganda show.
Yep.
Anyway,
I will not apologize for liking Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I don't care if it's problematic. Nine-Nine.
All cops are bastards, even the cops in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
So here's the thing. The cops in Brooklyn Nine-Nine aren't real. That's why they're not bastards.
Tell Kirsten ACAB, and that includes Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
No. But it does include Toph.
No. Not Toph. Lin Beifong.
Yeah, but Toph was a cop too, right?
We don't know if she's that kind of cop, though. All right, we don't
Look,
know.
I saw all of Avatar. I know Toph's personality. She was that kind of cop. She was very into her whole self being great.
Yeah. I'm not going to acknowledge these memes that you're sending me, Spanky.
We need to just get clips of Spanky's laugh from down there.
Pregnant Christian Knuckles will not get me off topic. So basically, the other thing happens is where Mako and Core are kind of having like relationship problems here, and Mako's like,
because she's like, why won't you commit treason for me? And he's like, because I like my whole job and stuff.
Well, basically, yeah, because Mako basically picks this job over her.
Well, also she's being incredibly reckless.
Yeah, she's like doing all this shit to try and like help the Southern like resistance, basically, and he's got to like tell he's like basically has a president of the entire world there, and he's like, is there anything we should know? And he's like, well, yeah, my fucking girlfriend's doing some shit. So anyway, Korra is gonna get arrested, I think. No, she just runs away, and she's trying to head back to the Fire Nation, or wait, what?
No, she participated in that march with the the protest march.
Beifong walks in her office and sees the wreckage, asks what happened. Mako tells her that he broke up with the Avatar. She tells them that he got off easy compared to what she did to Air Temple Island after Tenzin broke up with her.
Yep.
En route to this Fire Nation in a speedboat. I don't remember why she's going to the Fire Nation.
She wants
to go directly to talk to
Zuko,
the
Fire Lord.
No, not
Zuko.
Zuko's voice. I forget his name.
No, because Iroh, the grandson, is already there.
Anyway,
she's going to go to the Fire Lord.
You're totally right, because I'm looking at the popular page and I see Zuko linked here. And...
Because Iroh, the grandson, the Zuko voice, he's a general in the United Forces.
Yeah, we got it.
But yeah, the Fire Nation army, different army.
She's going to the Fire Lord, but then that like a crazy dark spirit comes out of the ocean, one that's been like wrecking ships.
She's getting attacked by the twins, and they're like, "Hey, this giant spirit is gonna fuck our shit up. Let's retreat." Yeah. And she's in Korra's in the middle of like a water spout tornado, and doesn't notice the spirit coming, and it fucks her shit up.
Well, no, she does the Avatar state and tries to like do that like spirit purification. He gets like most of the way done, but then it fucking annihilates her, and that she disappears below the water.
Yeah,
and that's like the episode.
And she has a real bout of TV amnesia in the next episode. Yeah.
So then there's the sting, where they're trying to figure out what's going on with all this like fucking. I don't know. It's more of the cop adventures, basically.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it and it's Mako like making deals with the underworld and doing an off the books operation and stuff like that.
We're gonna get
so basically what they're doing is sending a bait ship out to try and catch whoever's been hijacking shipments.
Yeah, because Varric's shipments have all been being hijacked, and it's ruining. Sorry, not his girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend. What's her name?
Asami.
Like, company, because like Varric and her were doing like deals and stuff, and they were like sinking all the ships basically with all their merchandise on it.
Mm-hmm.
And so and this is also where you get to see Bolin, the adventures of Nuktuk, the hero of the South, and the Movers, as they call them, which are just
I fucking love the aesthetic of the Nuktuk films. Like,
so it's like fucking like what is it? Flash Gordon, like the old like serials.
Yeah. But it's also like, okay, this is animation, and then you make a shitty low budget set in animation, which is fucking expensive, and then you filter it so it looks like it's shot through film. Like, just see it's kind of like when professional actors have to try and pretend to be bad actors in something. I just love the layers of like how intentional and expensive animation is, and you have to intentionally make something look low budget and cheap.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they make a deal with the Triple Threat Triad to like send out that bait ship, and Bolin has weird like relationship troubles with his actress.
I don't know if it's relationship troubles if it's completely one-sided and unconsensual.
Anyway, it's weird. Let's just leave it at that.
He gets a little Weinstein-y.
But Asami and Mako are on the ship, and they're like, well, what if we kissed on the bait ship? And then they kiss each other, and they snap out of it and apologize. And Mako's like, let's go get some... Let's do some...
Now, two things happen while they're on there. First thing is...
Two-Toed Pang, the greatest character of all time.
Mako and Bolin used to run books for the Triple Threat Triads. Yeah. So they start talking old shop, and Mako's like, "Yeah, I broke up with the Avatar," and they all give him shit for it. Like, you hear this, guys? He says he broke up with the Avatar. Oh, sure you did.
Yeah.
But on the other side of things, he actually overhears the Triads talk about the fact that they were actually told they're actually wasting his time.
Yeah. They're like, what are we doing out here babysitting the kid? And they're like, we're supposed to spend a bunch of time out here to keep him away from the city or something like that. And he's like,
you completely stepped over the greatest, most important character development of the series, and that's that Two-Toed Pang is called Two-Toed Pang because he has 2 extra toes.
Yeah.
And there was already a 12-toed Pang.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. And so he couldn't go by that name. Anyway, basically, they've
been double crossed.
Ship or something.
Double crossed by the Triple Threats.
I don't remember. Anyway, they escape on speedboats. That's it. They go to Future Industries, and Asami's like, he's like, I found the person who set them up, but then it turns out Asami basically went bankrupt.
In between those, he visits a Nuktuk set, and he sees the pyrotechnics and the remote explosives, and he realizes, like, oh shit, the remote Varric Industries exclusive. I kind of know who's been doing the explosions on the boats now.
Yeah, and then it turns out that Varric bought Asami's company because of that. And it's almost like this was his entire plan the whole time. Varric double crosses him.
It's almost like the capitalist is the bad guy.
Yeah. And so he's been kind of acting like this, like goober the whole time, being funny, but he's actually like a real fucking bastard.
Yeah.
And then Korra washes up on a beach.
Did we mention that the reason why they were pulled away is because whoever was still at the city stole all the last of Asami's stuff at her one last factory?
While they were out on the boat, the warehouse was completely ransacked.
Yep.
And so she had nothing anymore.
Mako's like, yeah, well, what about your other factories? Like, no, this was it. This was the last of it.
The last of my like equipment that we had. So
and that was the last thing that happened before Varric bought a controlling interest in her company.
So we've got the next 2 episodes, the last 2 we're going to be talking about, are, I think, my favorite in the entire series.
It's so good. Spanky's rising from the dead.
Can we actually talk about this now? So this is the beginnings, part 1, and this is where we get the lore of the original first Avatar.
It's where Korra has at the end of the last episode, you had the TV trope of Korra washing up on the beach, and it ends with, who's Korra? Who's the Avatar? She's lost her memory. She has TV amnesia.
So basically, the fire bending shamans, where she washed up,
fire sages
lower her into the spirit waters that they have, so she can reconnect with her spirits, as well as some of her past lives. And I forget. Oh, she remembered. She tries to remember who she is, prompting a young man to appear behind her in an orb of gold light. She asks him if he was the spirit Rava, whom she was told to find. The man says he's not, but he can help her find Rava, and he introduces himself as Juan.
Which is kind of a lie, because he's kind of also Rava.
Yeah, let's not worry about that. He's just, he didn't want to give her too much info at the start. Just gotta let it as the time goes. So yeah, this is the original. The first Avatar stuff has kind of a different animation style. It's basically kind of like watercolors a little bit.
Mhm.
It reminds me very much of like the Spirit World reminds me very much of like the Miyazaki.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of
Spirit,
like My Neighbor Totoro shit. Like,
yeah, with all the weird little creatures and stuff that are in the
Yep.
Spirit. But anyway, so the idea is that there is these giant lion turtles that have cities on them, and everyone lives on the cities because they're safe, because outside of the cities is the spirit wilds where all the spirits live, and so they have to go out on expeditions in the spirit wilds to collect resources and stuff to bring back to the lion turtle. But to protect themselves from the spirit wilds, the lion turtle grants them their power, which in the case of Juan is the power of fire, to the people venturing out into the spirit wilds to go collect food and resources and supplies for the people. And that's kind of how things work. And it's very much like a, class caste based system where you have like the rich and the poor and the haves and the have nots kind of fighting over resources.
The chews.
Chew nots. My cat took a humongous shit in the next room and it smells so awful.
Yeah. What does it taste like though?
Unbearably awful smelling. Like I have to do something about it right now. It literally smells like
correct me if I'm wrong. I've never met a cat. Don't they bury that?
Not sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just leave it out and then walk, scratch the floor.
I see.
Like they're a litter box and not actually.
Nice.
Shit.
The best thing about my house is that my backyard is all fenced in and everything. So Mike just goes outside to shit now.
And sometimes to the neighbor's yard.
Oh my god.
So when Mike gets into the neighbor's yard, I get pissed off and I have to lock him in the bedroom because he's like, I wasn't doing anything. And I'm like, every time you get into the neighbor's yard, I lock you in the bedroom. But he knows he's not supposed to do it. But then he still does it. And then whenever I go into the neighbor's yard to get him, he's just looking at me like, hey, you're here. I haven't seen you in a long time. You want to hang out and poop in the neighbor's yard? What an asshole.
Yeah, fuck that guy. So then the first Avatar gets fire powers and goes hunting.
Okay. so yeah. John should be back shortly. But regardless, so on his lion turtle, Juan, not the Avatar yet, is kind of like the street urchin, the street rat. He's Aladdin of this lion turtle.
He's a very acrobatic thief.
Yep. He's poor, he steals from the rich, he gives to other poor and himself, but mostly the other poor. What the fuck's John doing?
Sparkling.
He is sparkling. It's lovely. So when he's like, God damn it, what the fuck are you doing, John?
He's playing with the blinds. I don't know why.
He's opening the blinds because it stinks so bad.
Look at that Badger boy. Look at that good Badger boy. He's a big Badger fan.
John, were you opening the window because your cat shitted and farted so bad?
I had to crack a window, and I also have some Arm & Hammer cat litter box deodorizing powder that I had to spread.
Beautiful.
It smelled like death in there. Can you put the actual new litter in there?
Steve shitted and farted.
Oh, sorry, my wife is concerned about
My
the cat's
wife.
poop.
My
where
wife.
was
My
it?
wife.
So while you're gone, all we got a chance to say is Juan is just the
First
Aladdin, the Aladdin / Robin Hood of their lion turtle.
Yes, he escapes with bread and feeds everyone else,
Yeah.
but himself, because he is.
So eventually he decides to go on one of the Spirit Wild hunts, and
Or does he?
He gets the gift of the fire. Everyone, all the other hunters are like, "Oh, you're not going to last a day." Juan then acts scared and runs off. But the whole point was he was going to keep the fire. Not only does he do okay out there, he then doesn't give back the fire when he gets back to the lion turtle.
Fucking heavy.
And the whole point is
We didn't give back the fire.
It's almost
Is
like if the oppressed underclass have like a means of defending themselves, they don't stay the oppressed underclass for very long.
Yeah.
Yep, he brings the fire to fuck up those rich Chews and make sure that everyone has the food again.
Whoa, TJ,
Okay,
you gotta enunciate that better.
Chews.
All right.
I'm assuming it's CHEW because they eat a lot.
There is that, and they're conveniently organized in a very three sizes.
They're conveniently racistly Chinese.
There's the big one, the middle one, the little one.
I'm kidding. No,
These motherfucking greedy goblin.
Oh god damn it!
Oh shit! Now Sparky's
look,
southern side
guys,
is coming out.
Let's move on. This is so small in terms of
it is.
the storyline. So basically,
so-
Juan's like, I gotta get some of that going out into the spirit wilds because it's the only way I'm gonna fucking
we're
get
past
anything.
that. We went through
Okay.
all that,
So he went out there
back.
and
He's
like,
got the fire.
learned.
and he's like, "Hey
You learn
guys." One of my favorite parts of this episode was when he demonstrates to his two friends that he's got fire. The half tree guy just like flips the fuck out and it's like,
Yeah.
"Get away from me!"
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing? So yeah, he uses his fire and comes back in and tries to use his fire to raid the palace to steal food. He gets like defeated and they're like, you gotta go fucking out in the wilds. We're gonna strip you of your powers. And then he begs the lion turtle, like, let me have the fucking powers. It's the only way I can survive in the spirit wild. And he's like, all right, fine. And then he meets the Angry Beavers voice guy.
Yes, he does. He meets Daggett.
Oh, is he from
he's
Angry? I enjoyed his performance. I didn't know he was from Angry Beavers.
So he meets Invader Zim.
Yeah, Invader Zim as well. Yes, you're right. So, he meets him, and he's like a lemur guy. And I forget what it is. He doesn't want him to come across the bridge to like the healing springs where there's like
Healing Springs. Yep.
food and water and all this awesome stuff.
Because he's a sturdy, stinky human.
Yeah, he's a dirty, stinky human. But it's really like, it feels like a fable. Like, and so basically what happens is
he rescues a spirit deer?
A cat deer.
Yeah,
was caught in the net, basically. And he's like, he could take the cat deer because it was trapped and then use it to, eat and feed himself. But he thought that would just not be fair, basically, because he's kind of seen what the people from the lion turtle villages do to, the spirits. They just kind of exploit them and use them. He's like, you know what? I got to like learn the ways of the spirits, basically. I think he goes back to the island or something happens.
Well, he's about to save the cat deer.
The people come back.
The hunters come to get it. He saves it from the hunters.
Yeah. But the Eye spirit shows up before he's like apprehended. Basically, he's being chased down by these people, and then he fucking possesses one of the hunters, turning Hunter into like a half spirit creature. Terrifying. It's horrifying. Yeah. Because he's like permanently stuck that way. And you kind of realize how that tree guy got stuck that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't notice that the first time I watched it, but Kristen pointed it out to me that, like, he was spirit possessed. That's why he's half tree.
Exactly. And so the Eye Spirit's basically like, we should probably help this guy because he basically, went against the other humans to save one of them.
I've literally never seen a human care about nature before, so I guess he's special.
Save one of our own. And so that's it.
He spends
he gets
2 years
healed.
with them?
Yeah, he gets healed. He stays in the wilds to learn the ways of the spirits. He gets the cat deer
becomes
the
first
seed.
avatar animal companion.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Oh yeah, he befriends the spirits and learns the dancing dragon form from a white dragon. So he's basically learning kind of the first firebending techniques, from the dragons, like they said, and becoming so much better at it than all of the other people from the fire lion turtle, basically. But he's wandering, basically. Oh yeah, and so he goes back to the city, or like friends that are outside the city, because they are like, wow, you're alive. And he's like, people can live in the wild if they have the power of fire, so we don't need to like fucking be on the lion turtles and be the fucking lower class to the choose. And so the lion turtle gives them all fire powers, and they all are like, we're gonna start our own fucking civilization out here.
Yeah, that works out great for them.
Well, that happens later.
We'll get that into the next episode. But the Juan and Mula, which is the name of his cat deer, go across a lot of lands, and they find two like there's a bunch of like thundering like stuff going on in this valley, and he's like, what the hell is that? And they ride up and they see there is this big white colored like spirit creature fighting this like dark red and black spirit creature, and like basically like choking this creature to death.
They look like coffin rays.
Yeah, they really do. They look like weird, like floating sea creatures. But
yeah,
they Vatu is like, help me, I'm being like suffocated. Like this thing has been tormenting for tens of thousands of years. You have to protect me. And Juan's like, okay, and blasts Rava, basically, and Vatu escapes. And he's like, well, that was the darkness and chaos that was taking over the world that you just freed. So thanks for that. I had kept it under control for the last 10,000 years. And he says, well, the human and spirit realms are now headed towards annihilation because he interfered with it. And all that Vatu wants is to destroy both the human and spirit worlds and create chaos. So that's good. And then we have the last episode we watched, which is the part 2.
And then Vatu gets elected president of the United States.
Oh, no.
Studio Mirror did the animation on this, and it's just fucking incredible.
Yeah, it's very good.
Watching this makes me want to watch The Mandalorian now, just because I know a lot of the people that worked on this also worked on The Mandalorian.
Have you not watched The Mandalorian?
I watched like the first 3 episodes.
Oh, I'm impartial because I fucking love westerns, but it is a very well done show.
I should watch
yesterday's episode was really cool if you're a fan of the Clone Wars.
Oh,
show.
really? I haven't seen that one yet. I'm excited. Maybe we should end this podcast so I can go watch it.
I have heard, and based on what I saw from the first 3 episodes, is The Mandalorian is the best Star Wars content since the original trilogy.
So, Dave Filoni is the only person making Star Wars content who knows what the fuck he's doing. He's the guy who did Clone Wars. He's the guy who did Rogue One. Well, not all of Rogue One, but I believe he supervised Rogue One. He's the guy who did Star Wars Rebels. And now he's the guy who did he's the guy who did The Mandalorian and writing, and he did a lot of the first season of Avatar. So like this dude knows what the fuck he's doing.
So this is technically on topic.
Kind of,
Well, that's why I brought it up because there was an ad for The Mandalorian that popped up, and I remembered that the people that worked on The Mandalorian actually worked on Avatar. So
right, and unlike pretty much like JJ and Lucas and all the other people who do shit with Star Wars, Filoni kind of has a good grip of like the stuff that you need to play up whenever you do a Star Wars story, and then you take all of that like knowledge and like demonstrated success on how to like sell a Star Wars universe and story, and then you get Jon Favreau to like run the
knows
show.
The Marvel system and knows like how to navigate Disney and that kind of thing. It's like,
I did actually see that. That this recent episode was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard as well.
Oh yeah, she did, I think, 1 or 2 episodes in the first season too.
Yeah,
And then
so
you just
it's kind of cool that she's like taking after her father's footsteps.
and the Mandalorian is basically a perfect storm, because what it is it's like everyone liked Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Because he was fucking cool looking. And then Lucas had no idea how to leverage that because he's a terrible writer. So he invented Django. And then like that's kind of the last you saw of the Mandalorians. Then Dave Filoni's like, no, I'm gonna do
like Clone Wars like creates this whole Mandalorian lore that they're like space paladins.
All of the cool Mandalorian shit, like this all started by Dave Filoni in the mid 2000s, like starting with Clone Wars, and then in Rebels, like the follow-up cartoon show to Clone Wars, there's a main character, Sabine Wren, who is a Mandalorian. So like Dave Filoni has this, like, he knows how to make a Mandalorian fucking cool. Like Lucas did it on accident in the original trilogy.
I
don't want to like rain on
Clone Wars. You can see like the first couple of, like, you can see where George Lucas is starting to distance himself from the property and kind of be more hands off with it. And the farther it gets away from George Lucas and the more it gets towards Dave Filoni, the better it gets.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's really interesting too that this entire existence of why Boba Fett is cool and why this entire universe of the Mandalorian and everything exists is because fucking Boba Fett had awesome character design.
Yeah.
And because in the movies, there is nothing to go off of other than the fact that he had badass looking armor and he didn't talk very much and he fucking like kicked ass.
John, I would like to correct you by pointing out Boba Fett's premiere, which is in the middle of the Star Wars holiday special as an animated feature. And that's the only legitimately good part of that.
It is, because that's before Empire, isn't it?
Yep. And
really?
that cartoon is actually good. It's so good. It's like, why are you in this thing?
Right.
Yeah, no, so Matt's right. The holiday special is like this big fucking joke because it's how fucking god awful it is. But one portion of it is a non sequitur Boba Fett cartoon.
You're fucking right. It's
fucking amazing.
Yeah, and whatever studio was in charge of the animation, they look fucking great.
Yeah.
So it's basically Boba Fett was created in the Star Wars fucking special.
So if not for the Star Wars holiday special, we wouldn't have the Mandalorian.
I don't know about that. I have a feeling that the Boba Fett character design was probably something that Lucasfilm was already working on, as they were probably in production on Empire at 79, because Empire came out in 81, right? Or something like that. Or 80. So they probably had that, but it hadn't appeared in anything yet. So seeing him the first time there is pretty cool. But yeah, it's kind of cool. But let's get back to Avatar, because maybe we could do a watch party of the Mandalorian in the future.
That we could do. I floated doing Clone Wars, but it's just there's a lot of filler.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard it's like I've seen so many like fan lists of watch these episodes of Clone Wars in this order.
That's why,
and that's what you can get out of this.
I binged Clone Wars like over a summer, and like it's so hard to be like, oh no, this becomes a really good show eventually. You just have to like wade through a couple of years of shit.
No, because they're like the bad episodes that are in season 1 are equally as bad as the bad eeds that are in the last season.
Yeah,
like
I just
bad
want
filler
people
episodes
to have
are
a greater appreciation of the Zabrak guy from episode 1 that I can't remember the name of. Darth Maul, just like the arc of Darth Maul and Obi-Wan in Clone Wars, and I guess it continues through Rebel is great, and I wish more people would experience that.
Yeah,
so they wouldn't get so angry when Darth Maul showed up in Solo, because he's been around. Everybody knows he's been around.
It is just sad that the best Star Wars content isn't all of this like side stuff, and the movies are just. It's because the movies are like meant to be like fucking sanded down, soft edges. Let's be as broad as we can. Whereas the TV shows, they're kind of allowed to, like you said, Star Wars was originally built to be like let's build off of these old like all the sci-fi serials, Flash Gordon, all the stuff that I watched as a kid, where like you got all space guys saving dames in distress and stuff, and kind of defeating the evil maniacal empire and all this stuff, and building lore around that. And where you have the Mandalorians, like, you know what, westerns are cool. Let's make a western that's a space western, and which Cowboy Bebop kind of did a bit, and some other things have done, but like it's the idea. Like space western is a cool aesthetic. Let's do that. And so you feel that like the care that's being put into that show.
Right. One thing that doesn't get brought up very often, well, I mean, maybe it does, but like one thing that is always worth bringing up when discussing like the like space opera that Lucas was trying to build with the first Star Wars movie is that he wrote, filmed, and directed a pretty fucking terrible movie that his wife at the time was like, who is an amazing editor of film, was just like, there's enough film and dialogue and shit here that I can put together a great, or at least like a good movie out of the shit that you filmed. Because like the original script of Star Wars had like, it took Luke like 3 passes at the Death Star trench. To get it done. And his wife was just like, that's fucking stupid. He's like the superhero of this movie. You gotta have him do it on the first one.
Yeah.
Well, and to me, Lucas feels a lot
why
like
the prequels after they had divorced are maybe not as great.
Yeah.
Well,
and the special editions.
Well, and the other thing too is Lucas always felt like me to be similar to like Tolkien, where he's really good at like world building and creating like a aesthetic.
But he's extremely racist.
And he's really bad at writing
into like just putting some Catholic dogma in his shit. Yeah.
Well, he's just bad at writing characters and dialogue, which is what like Tolkien. As much as you love him, he liked writing songs and creating lore. But like Helm's Deep, the awesome epic battle is like a page. Like it's like, why is this not more descriptive of the cool things? Because to him, all the story beats were just there to, like accentuate the lore. Like we didn't need to get into detail about all this badass battle. We just need to know what happened so we can move on to the next plot beat in my history book I'm writing. And George Lucas isn't maybe as technically good as Tolkien is at world building, but it feels the same to me, where it's just a guy who's not great at writing dialogue or characters, but good at making up cool like space Jedi, like is a cool idea.
Yeah.
Right.
Give him credit for that.
Yeah, space wizard. Who would have thought of that?
Space wizards that are like kind of like priests.
Yeah.
Because they aren't allowed to marry.
Space clerics.
Space
and
priests.
Also it's kind of like a samurai movie.
Does that make Yoda the space pope? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yoda's the space pope.
Is the space pope reptilian?
I think Yoda's amphibian, which is weird because Baby Yoda loves eating frogs.
So they covered up the younglings murder, though, the Jedi Order.
Did they?
One of the Jedis was indicted on charges of child murder. Sorry, I was trying to make a Catholic Church joke. Let's move back to Avatar.
Right.
Let's move back to Avatar.
Are we not done talking about Avatar?
No, we have to talk about part 2 of the first Avatar when we learn basically everything.
He's the first Avatar. Next, okay.
No.
Okay, so I don't remember if this happened at the end of
MadHagMusic.com.
I don't remember if this happened at the end of the first one or at the beginning of the second one, but he finds a lion turtle that a bunch of air people are living on.
Yes, correct. That's the second episode. So basically, he is like continuing to like explore, and he's like, well, I got to help Rava basically defeat Vatu, and how can I do that? I got to go like look around and find stuff. And he basically finds that there are other lion turtles giving other people abilities. He finds air people basically, and he's like, "Wow, I should gain all of the powers, and that will help me defeat Rava, basically, and maybe that will allow me to."
Vatu.
defeat Vatu. And Rava continually is getting weaker because her power gets weaker as more chaos shows up, because we're seeing spirit creatures like enveloped in chaos and like attacking people.
But the
like,
thing
more
is,
than they
as
used
she gets weaker, she gets smaller and,
she gets tiny.
and more cute because she's smaller.
Yeah. She's very kawaii.
Now, as Juan is getting these elements, he can only actually wield one at a time.
Yeah.
And Rava holds the others for him.
Yeah.
So Rava's the one that lets Juan switch elements.
Yeah.
Like she'll jump in, and then Juan loses the one and gains the other.
Yeah. So it's like a system, but he's basically, kind of being a nomad, going around to all the different lion turtles and learning everything. And as he's training, Rava explains that there's a thing called harmonic convergence, which is an event that happens, I think, every certain 10,000 years, where Vatu and Rava battle for the power of the world, and who's going to control it for 10,000 years. And so even if she defeats Vatu in this counter, the darkness would grow inside her until he emerges, basically. So there's no way that one cannot exist without the other. But like when one's extinguished, the other one has to slowly regrow. So she has to basically beat him, or else he's going to be in charge until she can get back and be reborn. And by that time, everything will be wiped out. So it's a year off. They give him a deadline. He's got to learn for a year. And so he kind of goes around at this point and finds things. And then he eventually, near the end of the year, they find a destroyed part of the forest. And they find that his friends who left the city, some of them were killed by spirits. I think one of his friends is dead. I think the what is it? The wood guy has died.
Woodman.
And there's a bunch of spirits there, including the Eye spirit. Are like, get the fuck out of our forest, you're destroying all of it. And they're like, we need this wood to do that, and you've killed all of our friends. And it's not going well. Spirits and humans are not friends, and it's bad. And then you kind of reveal that Vatu has been behind all this, getting the spirits riled up to attack the humans. And it's chaos, basically. So Rava continues to get weaker and weaker. It's not going well. They travel to the southern portal to do the convergence. And basically the idea is that you travel through the southern portal into the spirit realm and do battle there.
Well,
There's
it's
this,
it's
giant
like a
tree.
middle place, right? Because it's
no, it's a spirit realm. It's the spirit realm, because now all the spirits are in the regular world, and we'll get to it later, because something happens where all the spirits retreat to the spirit world.
The despiriting.
At one point. And so Rava, they fight, can't do it. Convergence begins, and in a desperate gamble, he touches the southern portal, absorbing the spiritual energy, permanently fusing his energy and essence with Rava, thus creating the avatar state, basically. And he beats Vatu back, and rather than killing him, he imprisons him inside the Tree of Time with all four elements, and basically says it'll be the job for always to be someone like me to wield all four elements and keep the spirits and physical world safe, basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why the avatar exists.
And he spends his whole life trying to kind of maintain peace and order between the spirits and humans, but he can't quite do it in his lifetime. But Rava promises to continue to find a similar spirit human. So another important thing is those lion turtles that were there basically say here it is. Sorry, we skipped ahead. So he wants to bring peace to the world by acting as the bridge between spirits and humans. To do so, he tells all the spirits to leave the physical world and return to the spirit world. And then he closes that portal so that no human can get into the spirit world and release that dark spirit. The lion turtles are like, fuck all y'all, suck a caterpillar dick. We're leaving. And we're not going to grant anyone else bending. But we will show up when Aang is in trouble at one point.
Yeah.
But that'll be in the future.
They just poochie off of this planet.
Basically. And so basically bending is then something that is given to everyone at that point before they leave, and then it passes down from like, you know, people to people basically as time goes on. So that's kind of how you have the 4 nations were created. And
Yep.
that's 10,000 years ago, because we find out that harmonic convergence is happening in a few weeks. And oh shit, I'm the Avatar and it's harmonic convergence. So I got a job to do. And she remembers. And there's a flying bison that they saved since the 100-Year War, and there's the herd. So she gets herself a flying bison. And she's flying off to the spirit portal. These episodes are fucking awesome.
They're great.
They feel like an entirely different show, like with like its own like tale. It feels like you're reading like an important fable, you know? Like it's just so good. God, I love these episodes. And Juan is really cool, and the animation's cool, and the storyline is really neat. It's very like yin yang. You kind of see that, you know, throughout this series. And I like this season a lot. Like, I think people diss on this season a little bit, and I get it, because this kind of harmonic convergence spirit storyline is not like it's like a one-off thing this season. You know what I mean? But it's important because you get to see this. You learn a lot about that. Yeah. Because they go more into the spirit stuff in the next season as well. Because some other stuff happens. Yeah. But
spirit.
I don't know. It does. Yeah, there's more spirit stuff throughout. There's a lot more of the spirit world in this show than in Avatar. Because Avatar was more like, there's some fucked up shit happening on Earth right now. We got to fix that. And this is kind of like, all right, you know, the Earth's kind of peaceful now. The fucking spirit world is popping off, and things are bad. And now the Avatar actually has to deal with that. So, yeah. It's cool. And we got lots of stuff to look forward to.
I'm so excited for next season. Outfit change, hairstyle change.
Yeah.
Oh, Muscles McGillicuddy.
There's a lot coming up. Yeah.
That is not a real name, and that is actually not a character at all. I'm just describing someone. And all the fan art I've seen.
We've got, next, just to tant some of the next episodes, we got some more Bolin as Nuktuk of the North coming up. We got
Nuktuk of the South.
Nuktuk of the South.
Nuktuk of the North would sound better, though.
Yeah, it would, but it's not.
Come on,
Spanky is dead.
That's fine. Just somebody roll him onto his side.
I mean, he's still breathing, so it's fine.
For some reason, I was like
you're
half...
our Nuktuk of the South.
I, for some reason, was like half asleep, and I thought Spanky was referring, like, whenever they said Spanky is dead, I thought we were referring to Juan. And I was like, he's not dead.
No.
He's in the Avatar state.
Exactly.
Oh my god, I forgot about what happens next.
Don't tell me.
Yeah.
I'll just say that there are some people some people in the spirit world that you'll remember from Avatar.
Yep.
The cabbage guy.
Not the cabbage guy.
God
my
damn
cabbages.
But there's definitely some spirits and people that are in the spirit world that
Ko the Face Stealer?
Maybe.
So this has been the Forza 7 fan cast.
Yeah.
I'm May of May. Find me on twitch.tv/May of May. Or on the Hell website, twitter.com. That's May of May 84.
I need
John.
Yep, I'm on I'm Toff_Beifong_feet pics. You can find me. You know what's weird about that is that like Toff's like got like her like dirty feet, and then wasn't that like Nickelodeon guy who was like into feet?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
What's his name?
Nickelodeon guy?
Yeah, Nickelodeon guy canceled.
Probably. I know the Ren and Stimpy guy was problematic.
Jim K?
Dan Schneider.
I don't know who
that
is.
Go.
Well, he was like he liked to tickle like some of the Nickelodeon like stars' feet and stuff.
This is making me very uncomfortable.
And he worked on a bunch of Nickelodeon shows, and now he's been like canceled.
Did he touch Carly's feet? Is that what's going on?
No, but Ariana Grande didn't like him very much.
Fair enough.
and others have come out to say.
Watch me confuse these baristas.
Yep.
I'm just gonna order an Arion at large.
Matt Hag music.
You can find me on Uber Eats, just fucking trying to survive.
Order some Uber Eats, and maybe Matt will deliver it.
Spanky, you're around.
You can find me at the liquor aisle at Sam's Club buying a handle of Svedka.
More importantly, join us, talk to us, play games with us. That's discord.boredintheeighties.net. Come talk to me. I'm here all the time.
Goodbye,
Bye-bye,
everyone.
everybody.
We love you.
Wait, on March 6, 2018, Nickelodeon announced it would not be extending its production deal with Schneider and Schneider's Bakery. They announced the show would not be released for another season. The first to report Nickelodeon parting ways with Schneider also claimed there were complaints of his alleged behavior, including his alleged well-documented temper issues for years, and his tweets showing photos of his young actress's feet.
The Madden curse is real.
The Madden curse is real. The Madden curse is real. It's fucking real, it is. That fucking curse is real.
Why are you English now?
Because that's how
Why aren't
curses
you?
are. I've got my I
want to start watching Truth Seekers on Amazon. So it's
What's that
apparently
about?
Nick Frost doing what we do in Phasmophobia.
I do like Phasmophobia. It's a pretty good game.
Hey, Spanky,
Bang.
post that link in the Discord.
Is that run through a Genesis processor?
No, it's just
It does
someone
sound
you
Gen-
wavy shit.
It's-
It did sound
it sounds-
Genesis-y.
It sounds just like the General Chaos soundtrack.
No, I think I mean it might have like a Yamaha DX7 synth behind it, but it's not it.
Laura, what are you doing? My
More
wife's doing
like
laundry.
Boring. Got her.
More like boring.
All right, Matt's live.
Live on Twitch.
We're live on Twitch.
I like to call
Fucking
it Twitch. Wow, we have two versions playing right now.
It's called.
Oh,
it's
God
called
damn it.
Canon, John. Take a music class.
It's
What?
microtonal, John.
Oh wow!
I know what you're talking about.
What that
Nothing like a
means.
YouTube downloader site to remind me that I've ad block paused right now. Wow, that was graphic.
My dick is microtonal.
I saw this tweet. Matt might be the only one to appreciate this, but it was like, name something that's not microtonal but sounds like it's microtonal, and someone said middle school band.
Oh, God damn it. So
Middle
right.
school orchestra is the worst though, because nobody
didn't
knows
have
how
one
to
of
play in
those.
tune.
Especially like string
microtonal.
instruments.
It's not
Yeah.
bad. It's microtonal.
String instruments are so unforgiving when it comes to
Yeah.
that. Like,
That's why they should get violins with frets, and then they'll never learn how to play right.
why don't violins have frets?
You can
Other
get
than the
some,
fact that it would make it easier.
you can get fretted violins. Like sometimes if you're a guitar player that just wants to fuck around on violin a little bit, you'll get a fretted violin.
You can also just get a mandolin and figure that out, and it has frets. It's the same
Yeah, but you
exact
can't
tuning
bow
as
a
a violin.
mandolin.
What?
Oh, you're saying learn mandolin and then switch to
Right, yeah, like learn mandolin with the frets because it's the same exact tuning and almost the same size
Yeah,
as a
but still,
violin. And then,
that's like I have a song and I want a quick violin part. I don't want to learn how to play in tune on a violin. I just want to be able to pick it up and do it.
yeah.
But when I want to do that, I just use fake instruments on the computer. All right.
I like this one. This is the one I'm gonna stick with.
I like
What's
that
that?
too. What is that?
It was called Rave. It was called Red Rave.
Commie Rave.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right.
All right, let me get on Twatch.
Join
Fuck.
it up. Scan the clip. And go.
God damn
I
it.
don't know what that is. I can make this way more crunchy too. Let's retro it up.
Have we been banned on Twitch yet? Oh, jeez. Actually, I like that. Oh, no, not that.
Is this gonna get me Twitch content ID'd?
I hope so.
No, because this belongs to all of us, comrade.
What?
I said no because this belongs to all of us,
It's
comrade.
our anthem.
Yeah.
Nope.
Can we stop the music so I can hear for getting things?
This one's on Genesis,
I'm
TJ.
sorry, John. I couldn't hear that. The music was too loud. Spanky, let's keep playing music.
Okay.
So good. Well, here's it on Super Nintendo.
Why are there so many Russian anthem covers on YouTube?
Here's one that says Soviet Anthem on AK-47. Oh, he's playing the piano with an AK-47.
Oh, yeah, I know that guy.
It's Vin Hetiero.
Yeah, love that guy. Love that guy.
So can I listen to Twitch now?
TJ loves a guy.
Yeah, wouldn't be the first time.
Alright, I need to get my head popped back a snail. Gonna be on a good Bedell.
Why do these Snapchat filters always give me lipstick?
Alright, I'm gonna switch to not hearing you guys in real time, so I'm only gonna hear
Okay.
Twitch, so you should probably turn the music off, so
Please.
I can actually do this. Alright. This is John talking at his normal
This is
volume
my
and distance from the
persona.
microphone. Let's listen to me. And this is where I am, and then we'll do Matt.
I'm John. Let's always listen to me. I'm the most important person of the podcast because I started it and I do everything.
I'm a DVD, it's fine. Everything's fine. What the fuck's going on here? Hey, Spanky, hi, how you doing?
Hi, everyone. I'm feeling very drunk today.
I feel like you say that a lot of days. And not
I'm
this
jealous.
isn't an intervention. I just feel like you say it a lot of days.
Welcome to A&E's intervention. I'm remembering when we were playing Phasmophobia, and me and Matt both locked ourselves in the bathroom of the farmhouse. We're just fucking laughing at each other, laughing.
I think I remember hearing that. And Spanky, remember when we locked ourselves in the bathroom in the high school?
I do.
And we were both in different stalls. I'm assuming
And
you
we
were
were
in the
kissing
other
each
stall.
other.
We were kissing each other in the bathroom while the ghost was hunting us. That was pretty good too, because he was like actually stalking the hallways, and I saw him stalking.
I have just about learned the high school. It's taken me several.
I was about to say, I feel like I'm more confident in high school now. It just takes so long for anything to get going in that. It's annoying.
Right, like
Yeah.
it takes several missions before you get a good feel for like the environment in the high school and where all the light switches are and shit.
So we sound good. I'm gonna go grab myself a drink, and then we can get started.
I'm gonna go take some shots of Svedka.
Do it.
That's a good, wise choice. I'm gonna drink this, but I need to get some ice.
I usually drink Amsterdam, because that's cheaper.
Guys, does wearing my shirt like this make me look gay?
Nah.
No.
Damn it! Fuck.
You have to like get more toned, I think.
I should probably tell people we're like podcasting, I guess.
Yeah, you should probably do that.
Let me go to the Born in the 80s Twitter.
It's
I'm going to
me,
use this super lazy way.
Dr. Manhattan. I've grown
What's-
weary of this world.
The fuck number is this? Let's see.
415.
Fuck number is this. 415? Yeah. Episode 415. But we're live.
This filter is called
Right now.
a very non-copyrighted frog
Over
puppet.
here. Hemsworth feet dot world.
No, god damn it. It's live.matthegmusic.com.
Which one do you want me to do?
I don't know. I don't really care.
Yeah, okay.
Whichever one people will click on.
We're all here. So get your asses in the chat. Alright, I'm going to just tweet that. I'm going to hit the share button.
Ooh, I like this.
I'm going to switch to my thing so I can like and retweet it. And because I'm being super lazy,
I'm making haterade right now.
John, I found a filter for you.
What's that?
It's called Frog Puppet.
I saw that one. Why is it that the Snapchat like background filters like make me look like I'm wearing makeup? Like this one.
Yeah, I was like, a lot of ones, like the cat one, in addition to putting a cat on your head, it also like gives you lipstick and rouge for some reason.
You gotta look your best self.
Yeah. I assume like, I don't know what it's like to make
Okay,
these, but I
boomer.
assume it's just like a default filter that you can start with, and then you add the like 3D tracking on top of that. This might be my new favorite filter.
I have my favorite filter, and it will always be my favorite filter. I
The
just need to
extreme
find it.
zoom.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that one.
You guys, I don't want to alarm you, but it smells like weed in my apartment.
Why is that?
I don't know. Definitely no
Man,
law breaking happening
I
here,
found my graphic,
internet.
guys. I've been looking for him this whole time.
What?
Did you guys? Welcome to Born in the 80s episode.
We're not ready to start.
15.
Hey guys, I'm a potato.
So, I changed my lighting situation Where the fuck my other paper go? God damn it.
Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 415. I'm your host, as always, John_Danger, and joined as always by my co-host.
Can you turn that off? Because it really sounds like ear rape. Like, it is seriously the worst thing I've ever heard.
You just don't get my art.
It's too crunchy. Anyway.
Oh man, TJ, I like that one. What's that one called?
Saturation, I think. Let's Saturation by Zach. I don't know who Zach is.
Zach-turation. Hey guys. Wait, let me get it.
No, let's play the Can I Find the Thing by searching for its exact thing.
Oh, of course not.
It won't work. All right, let's get started. Hey.
I like
I like
I'm
that
gonna
one.
favorite that one.
I kind of want to favorite that one.
I
But I
still
can't
like
do the
the
same as
fisheye
you.
better.
I gotta find a new one. The Diwali ones all suck because it's a terrible holiday.
Wow.
I don't know anything about Diwali. All I know is that all the
Would you
filters
like to know
don't
some
fucking
about
work.
Diwali? Some of my friends are Indian. They've told
They
me some
like-
stuff today.
there's-
Some of my
8
friends
candles.
are Indian, so it's okay for me to talk about
And a
this.
Christmas tree.
Well, no, I didn't know anything about it until I asked them.
I don't know. The only things I know about Diwali are the episode of The Office.
The Office?
When they have Diwali.
Yeah.
I feel this
Well,
filter
if it makes you
me
feel better,
like
one of
I'm
my
in a-
Indian friends sent that gif of fucking Michael Scott from The Office saying Happy Diwali.
This filter makes me feel like I'm in a late 90s ska music video.
This filter makes me feel like I'm doing a podcast where I've had 14 shots of Svedka.
14 shots at Chili's.
I'm the kind of person who would do shots at Chili's. That's not surprising to any of you.
Oh, I'm shocked.
I've got my head tossed. I gotta get a better snap filter.
So here's the one thing. Hemsworthfeet.world/chat works.
Does
Yeah.
that just go to the Twitch chat?
Yeah, you just get a chat window.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if live.matthagmusic.com/chat works.
It does not.
Well,
I might look like a
Hemsworthfeet-
burnt chicken nugget, but I love myself.
Merry Christmas, chicken nugget.
Hey guys, I'm from the new favorite game, Among Us.
Oh, John Sus.
Sus.
I'm Among Us.
Guys, John is sus.
Among Us.
Oh.
I keep having the urge to take off all of my clothing and expose myself to twitch.tv so that we get banned.
Don't do that.
I'll do it.
Well, it'll just be math that gets banned.
Yeah, exactly. Fair. Start doing the podcast from mine.
I would
Yeah.
like to not get banned from twitch.tv.
I need to start streaming again.
Here's a filter of my face on my face.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
Hey, Taki's Fuego.
Where's the really terrible dog one? I gotta find that one again.
How do you not have that favorited?
I don't, but I found this one, which is pretty close.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot. It makes me really happy. Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 415. I'm your host, as always, Joe Rogan, joined with my co-host, as always, Charlie Kirk, Ben Shapiro, and Candace Owens.
Am I Candace Owens?
You wish, bitch.
Why though? God damn it.
Why is one of your eyes tilted?
I'm tilted all the way, baby.
Spanky's turn.
I'm turned. Your tongue.
All right, I need to actually do this.
Let's start the podcast.
I would like to, but everyone keeps interrupting me.
I like your floppy unicorn horn. Your unicorn dick.
All right, here we go.